So people them.
Mm-hmm.
I was scrolling through the internets.
Yeah.
And for Insta. And I saw this dad, and he was talking about it's his daughter's birthday. He's a single parent. It's his daughter's birthday. And he really wanted to throw her a slumber party.
So, like, last year, I was trying to throw my daughter, like, a slumber party. And once again, no woman lives in the household. It's just me and my daughter. And, like, I communicated with one of the mothers, like, just to see if she can get the ball rolling because she know a bunch of more mothers and whatnot. And then I asked, do she feel comfortable having, and as I was talking, she straight up interrupted me. No, I don't feel comfortable with that at all. And like I said, because I'm a man, and she was honest, and I respect her honesty. She was like, yes. And I'm like, that really did make me feel some type of way. So I expressed my, not even frustration. I was really sad. And I expressed that with other women. And they was like, well, Mark Anthony, you got to see where she coming from and blah, 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 this and that and whatnot. And like, and I do understand like where women coming from, but it just hurt my feelings to know that me just as a man, I get labeled as that. And like, I would never do nothing like that to I would never do nothing like that to kids because like when I was growing up, like it was a situation like I try to make jokes about it and whatnot. And like long story short, it happened to me, but by a woman. And I just remember that feeling as I got older and when I was younger, I would never do that to a child. And just know that like I couldn't even throw my daughter like a slumber party is because like they think I'ma do what somebody did to me, which was a woman, by the way. And like that shit made me damn near like cry for real, bro, because I'm just trying to like have my daughter, but as it's that shit just made me really feel some type of way.
Now, I resonated with this because it was my daughter's birthday and I recently threw her a slumber party for the first time. I let people stay over. You know, we don't do that.
Right.
It was a big thing. I had to take a deep breath. So anyway, so my question to you is, would you let your kid stay over at their best friend's house if their only parent, sole parent, was a man?
Absolutely not.
I don't know. I think I might if I knew him. If I knew him, then yeah.
Hell no.
Because he's a man or just because it's sleepover?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
So I think the same. I actually thought it was ridiculous that the dude is there, like, swallowing back tears. I was really like, get a grip.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, absolutely. Like, who's playing with their kids?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, realistically, no, none of my boys can sleep at anybody's house. I can sleep there as well. They were going to go to... I'm staying to... And they actually have done that with their dad for one of their best friends. And Russ stayed there as well while they had their little slumber party. But other than that, no. And you can come and stay at mine, though, but they are not going
and
to anybody.
That is where I am at.
Yeah.
Like, in the rule of thumb for me is you can sleep at your cousin's house.
Yes.
You know, that's fine. But you're not going to sleep at anybody's house. And I know this might sound hypocritical because I said that I've given a sleepover, but that's in my house.
Yeah.
And what I said to the parents, because I understand that I don't really want my kid to go and sleep at anyone's house. So when I sent out the invitations, I said there's two options. They can stay over or they can stay for the evening and then you can come and get your kid. Because I was like, I understand that, you know, it's a big deal.
I think that alternative is better than straight out saying no, because my child can come over to your house, play, whatever, and then, you know, when it's time for bed and whatever, I pick them up. I feel like that's a great compromise. But just for me in general, because I have a girl pick-me, like, I'm not trying, it's a safeguarding issue for me. And whilst, yes, we can, you know, be friendly and whatever it is, I don't actually know you like that, right?
Exactly.
So why would I put my girl child in that environment just in case it increases the risk, right? And you want to lower the risk as much as possible. So she can come over, but she's not staying over. So yeah,
definitely.
I think how I grew up, I don't know. I feel mad. I feel like, oh my God, I'm a bad mum. I grew up having to stay out. I've been fostered, and then mum worked. So I had to stay at people's houses my whole life, childhood life. So, and I don't know what fear my mum had or didn't have, but I suppose her point is that I've got to work. Got a disabled son, but then my brother was in boarding school, to be fair, and he was fostered. So he was out of the house. And so I remember I'd either have to, we either had someone staying, I remember I had an auntie staying, or I'd go and stay. There was a family that I used to stay with, or I'd always have some kind of white best friend who I'd stay at theirs. I was just always out at someone's house. So I didn't have the same, I didn't even think about it. I mean, back in our day, I don't even know what the conversation was. Mum didn't have that fear, I don't think, or she had to put those fears aside because she knew she had to run out on people. And it wasn't just black people. I stayed at white people's houses as well. So when my daughter was growing up, I'm trying to think, she definitely went to sleepovers, but I knew the parents. And I think, was there a sleepover I didn't know the parent? No, I didn't know, not that I didn't know the parent. She had a best friend in primary school, in her first primary school, because she changed primary schools. That was her white best friend. And I knew the parents. The parents just lived down the road, like literally 5 minutes from us as well. And I knew the mum worked at the BBC. So we had that kind of friendship. So I know she stayed there. And she stayed there more than once as well in my kind of care community as well. So I had childminders. She had to stay at her childminders. And that childminder was a friend of the family, my best friend, Senyo. His mum did childcare, looked after her. And there's another woman, big up Trisha.
Hold on.
So I'm just trying to think. I'm working through it. I'm trying to think because the whole birthday thing, I let her go and stay at parties.
But question I was going to ask you is, was any of those people male?
Yeah, it's a male.
No, but I think if, say, for example, the BBC couple, if she was away, if the mum was away and the dad was like, it happens to be the child's birthday and can Emma come over, I probably would have let her still go because I feel like I know them, and I think more than anything it's strength in numbers, because I think like if it's a group of kids and I know things, I actually want to know the number of things where people have said, I sent my child to a sleepover and they were.
It is actually quite high.
I
would say that you were probably desensitized to, and you're very lucky actually for the amount of people that I know that were fostered, for one, have even spent any type of time in care or stayed at people's houses, that nothing happened to you. You're very fortunate. And even that your mum allowed you to stay at other places, that would make you quite vulnerable to people that would prey on that as well. And how they spot the signs, it usually is like a single parent. They know that they're working a lot. You become a target. Your circumstances will become a target for a lot of people that would spot that kid and be like, okay, we can do some things. Yeah. So you're very, very fortunate that didn't happen.
In my whole world, unless people haven't told me, in my whole world, I haven't had that rumor, that story. It's only in recent time where people are talking about it more, or meeting people like, yeah, no, my kid can't stay anywhere. Interesting. But because I feel for when you're like this guy who's an eater, I was like, I feel for him, because as a man who knows, he's only speaking for that, we can't vouch for him. But as a man speaking on like, I want my daughter to have the same experience and have a sleepover, and because I'm a man, people are scared of me. That's wrong also. That's not a nice
experience. Scared of him.
No, it's not scared, but they are. They are scared to have their children in his place because they're scared that he might abuse. Imagine having that weight on your shoulder as a man.
I think I felt sorry for him, right? Because it's like he wanted to. I felt sorry for him because it's like, you want to do this for your kid, right? And it's because of your gender that you can't. But that doesn't mean that I think that he should be doing it, because he should be giving them options. Like I gave options. You know, okay, we can't do the sleepover. Let's do a slumber day party, and then they can go home. They can experience everything that they need to experience during the day, and then they can go home. It's not the same, but it's a compromise. And if you this is the way that society is built up, and there's been far too many people that have just let their kids go into places that are not safe. And it's like, I'm with you. What is the fucking point of risking it?
Right.
And then like 20 years later, I'm being told that's happened.
Yeah,
I would want to kill the world.
I hear
burn
that.
it all down.
I hear that, but I think it's mad of all the things that we know that men do, all that stuff. But in this, it's like you can't do this for your child because imagine if every child, what are you even as a father, now you have to explain to your daughter, they're not coming. Imagine if all her friends were like, no, we can't stay over. Daddy, what do you explain to your child as a man?
Same thing that I explain to my kid. And I'm a woman. I like the same thing that I explained to my kid. Like some parents don't want their children to sleep over.
Mm-hmm.
When I was discussing the summer party with my daughter, I told her straight, this does not mean that you are sleeping over anywhere. This is an exception to the rule because we don't do that. Like that's not what happens round here. So I explained to her, and that is another reason why I gave the parents the option, because I know if it was me, my answer is going to be no.
Yeah.
But I know that she wants to experience this. So what's the compromise? So that's what I'm explaining. He doesn't even need to say it's because I'm a man, unless he wants to.
Okay, fair. That's what the part. That's the part.
Some parents don't like their children to do sleepovers. Man, woman, whoever.
So, can I ask you a question? Why is it for the woman? Like, if a mother was doing this, and they're all girls, and she had girls and whatever, and you still wouldn't let your daughter sleep over.
Because I don't know her
motivation?
either, and I don't know who's in her house.
Okay. So, what if you knew her? And you knew she was a single mom?
It would have to be my brethren.
Okay.
That's it. And who's basically auntie. It can't be someone who my daughter goes to school with.
Okay.
Like you can go out and do, you see like what you said about you can go out and do things during the day. Like I'm happy for you to go to parties and all that stuff because I get to know the parents, all of that. I'm happy with that. But I feel like there is so much vulnerability in sleeping over. There's so much things that you can be exposed to in sleeping over. Like someone could slip through, like I don't know who's in the people's house. Someone could come in the nighttime and do something to my kid.
That's true.
I have not gone and done a surveillance on the house. And even if I did do surveillance on the house, I'd end up sleeping there.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
No, but I get what you're saying though, because, she could have like boy children there, whatever. She could be a single mum, have boy children, or her daughter could have a boyfriend over there. You just don't know who's in and out of their yard. This is what I'm saying. You just don't know who's in and out of their yard. So you want to lower the risk as much as possible.
I think you have to know them as best you can. I
just feel like in this climate, in this day and age,
I think
it's just not going to work. And he's just going to have to accept that with, femicide and all of these sorts of things. Women are afraid. And, what I'm saying? And we have to use the tools to the best of our ability and try and safeguard ourselves as much as possible. It may hurt somebody else's feelings, but I know that my child's safe.
That's fair.
I think that's what it is.
No, why did you think that? Why were you repulsed by him? Or like,
I was, you know what? This is the thing. I went through the gamut of, you're really annoying that the safety of people's kids, you're then being like, why are people scared of me? I'm just a man. It's like that. I was like, really, as men go, I thought that he didn't understand how vulnerable it is a position to be bringing up children in this day and age, that they should risk their kids' safety for your child's happiness. I was like, use your brain. Just use your noggin. There are lots of different ways that you can celebrate your child's birthday, and it doesn't have to be a slumber party. Just use your head. Because you're telling me it's one man. What about if you just bring all your brethren?
Yeah.
Or you could have been grooming her friendship circle. Like, these are not times to play. So that he couldn't just get that, like, that's what was annoying me. And that he wasn't getting that, I was also like, what's wrong with you? Like, could you be a little bit
funny?
Yeah. It's just, it made me look at him different. And if I was one of the women watching him do his little appeal, I would be like, don't know if you want to play with that girl.
You protest too much.
Yes.
But could it genuinely be innocent? Like he was genuinely upset and he genuinely saw his daughter's heart break.
That's how I saw
her
it.
Friends couldn't go.
That's how I saw it in the initial thing. And I was like, because you said that, I was like, I'm going to talk about it on the pod. I didn't understand why you were upset with him. But how you've explained it, I get it. But I did look at him to face value, and there's that thing of, there's a bit of a martyrdom that single fathers have because they're the unicorn in a world of single mothers. So already they are pedestalized. So there's that where you might feel a little bit entitled and feel like, well, I'm a single father and I'm here for my... So there's a bit of entitlement possibly that could come with. I'm not saying he is always saying that. But also because he is navigating a space that's not common for men in general, that his child is heart is broken or emotionally upset. I think we're all learning. People don't have all the tools of parenting to automatically know that, well, this is the alternative.
Yeah.
All he's thinking is, I want to do something with my child. And the reaction is, shit, no one wants to. And I think that is a weight to carry. If you are a good man who does not have a bone in your body that even sinks like that, if you do have a good circle and you're being told, no, because you might fiddle with my child, that is not a nice feeling.
And for his vulnerabilities too. Why would you, as a man, why would you put yourself in that position to have a whole load of little girls, could be boys as well, in your house, under your care, for anything to come your way? Like, just think about the world as it is. Like, be a little bit more smart. That's the only thing. It's like, just use your, like, be a bit more smart about it.
Not everyone maybe is looking at the world in that lens, because there are people on this earth who don't have that fear, who have let their child stay at sleepovers and the child hasn't been messed with, have come out unscathed and it wasn't a thing. And again, just to be clear, my child didn't say any and everyone's. I didn't have that fear because I felt like I knew the people and I felt like it wasn't a one-on-one. So I think I think the world is bigger than that.
Okay,
perspective.
But I think that in the same way that you didn't have that and you're allowed to feel that way, the parents that do feel that way are allowed to do that.
Yeah.
He just needs to accept that and come up with an alternative.
I think that's
and for the parents that are saying no, it might not just be that he's a man. It might be the situation in
course.
As I said, man, woman. It's a no.
Of course,
yes.
I think that's fair. I think I just didn't understand why you hated.
No, I just thought he was stupid. Absolutely dibby. I really was like, oh my God, if he was speaking to me, because he said the person cared, like, you know, the woman explained it, I would have been like,
kicking for crying. Shut up.
Yeah, can't lie. Sometimes it is a little bit of my bugbear with men. Sometimes I want them to cry, but sometimes
you want them to cry.
No, not over this. Not over this.
Oh no,
there's a lot going on in the world, bro, that you can cry over. A sleepover is not one of them, honestly.
Child's heart.
Oh,
right.
So,
I mean, like,
just
kids get over things.
Yeah, they do. They go.
Like, not every single person my daughter wanted to come to the sleepover slept over. So, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you just have to get over it.
It's just a lesson.
That's it.
Give her another party. Like,
do something else.
There are millions of people out here that don't have birthday parties
and don't have houses to sleep in.
So,
yeah. There's that. Let's carry all the weight of the world on this.
As I said, there are more stuff.
There's more things
to be crying about.
Crashing. How dare you be upset about your daughter's
He's lucky I didn't find this page and write.
I think everyone has the right. Every parent has the right to do what they want to do. Sorry, brother. It is what it is. My sisters have spoken. And on that note, welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. I'm Auntie AK, a.k.a. A Kizzle, a.k.a. the auntie of all the aunties in the land. And I'm here with...
I'm Farah, your resident Caribbean queen.
I'm Nana, a.k.a. the Black Fairy, a.k.a. Dark and Lovely.
And today we are joined by the Blood Clot.
I love this.
I'm going to have Tourette's today.
Miss No Nonsense herself. Miss Tell It Like It Is. Miss Elaine the Pain.
Welcome. It's about damn time. Not joking.
Literally. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you.
You've actually been on our list for a while, but once you commented, I think we used one of your clips.
Yeah.
And you was like, can you tag me? Then it was like, well,
literally,
she's made contact now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We wait for the person to be like, to comment or something, and we're like, we can get there. We're on their radar.
Yeah.
Listen, you girlies, honestly, like the content that you put out, it's just fun, loving, free, and I absolutely love it. So
you and your fun loving
Blood Clot.
Within the first, what is it? 5
No,
minutes?
it's gone. We did it.
gone.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You can swear now.
All of the All right, guys. Okay, look. As we do, last week we had a special, so we haven't had enemies of progress. So there's a long list of enemies that we got to catch you up on. There's a lot. But we thought we'd hand it over to our guest to take it away. Elaine the Pain,
yeah.
Who's your enemy of mother effing progress? Tell us what's going on with your world, love.
Listen, these people are on my back, okay? They're like a monkey on my back. Like, honestly, This week has been very trying for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But you know my content, you know it's all about the Black community and Black people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was one video that kind of triggered it all off, right? So basically, there was this boy, and black boy, and he was talking about like the Asian community and stuff like that, and also, you know, they're not integrating enough and all of these sorts of things.
I feel like it takes the piss when they come to the country and then they build their own community and they think that they have their, let's say for instance, Ilford Lane. That's the one place I could really think of, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They've taken over to the point where the British don't even want to live there no more. They move out to Dagenham, they move out to Essex because they want to get the fuck away from it.
Yeah.
They're buying everyone out. They're trying to make their own shops, flushing money through the shops, washing money, dirty money, everything. And they keep things behind closed doors when it comes to all sorts of stuff. Let's face it, you know, that's how it be within their community, you know what I'm saying? English don't want that no more. Even, no offense, even the Eastern Europeans to a degree, but then there's a different type of work rate. They're not lazy. They're not just keeping things between themselves. They're still got to give back to the community. But when you think about the Asians now or certain others, you know what I'm saying, they come along, they take the piss because they're not giving back to the government or the country, England as Britain stands. You know what I'm saying?
So
Exactly.
obviously he could have said it better, but you know, at the same time, I was like, well, he's kind of making points, innit? Like, and then I wasn't really like thinking about it. I was like, okay, it's his opinion or whatever. Where's me look now? I'm gonna go down in the comment there. Yeah? And I see so much racism from the South Asians. I said, oh, what the blood clot this?
What did you say?
So in your comments, they were going
in the video that I saw, right?
Oh,
in the video that I saw, yeah. And that triggered the fuck out of me. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna have to address this, right? So basically, I cussed them out, innit? I cussed out the South Asians and I was like, listen, you are the buffer class, yeah? And I'm going to break it the fuck down for you and I'll tell you why, right? So obviously I did my research before and whatever. Obviously I did this triggering video and they're like, oh, all this Asian hate and all of these sorts of things. But I had to tell them, I said, listen, post World War II, when we came over, right, it was the Caribbeans that answered the call first because they invited everyone from the Commonwealth to come and build this country, you understand? And the Caribbeans answered first. And we were here first and we were building them. Transport links, hospitals, yeah? Like roads, we did it all, right? And then a couple years later, Britain opened up its doors back to the South Asian community. So they invited the Bangladeshis, the Indians, and the Pakistanis, right? All of that. Cool. Then I said, at the end of the day, I was like, you are the buffer class because the white people hated black people so much, right? That white people are here, the Asian people were here, and the black people were here. You understand? So I was like, when we're talking about the integration and all of those sorts of things, you got mortgages. Don't forget, when you came over here, you got mortgages. You got access that we didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And I said, furthermore, when black people were fighting for their rights and all of these sorts of things, you benefited from that too. Yeah. Yes, I was telling them, I was like, listen, you don't want to have it with me, you know, because I've got history on my blood clot side, you understand? And I'll tell it as it is. Anyway, so now I'm reeling off the stuff, right? And I'm saying, and then I did a TikTok live, right? Because I was like, no, I'm hot, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that they feel like they have something on us, calling us criminals and all of these sorts of things in the comments.
Oh, so this was all in the comments?
Yeah.
The standards, like, you guys ain't got no culture, you're criminals.
Exactly what the white people say. Exactly what the white people say. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to pressure your blood clot community, you understand? Because the Asians ain't had pressure yet, you know what I'm saying? So I did a TikTok live and I asked my questions. I said, first of all, why can't the Asian community take criticism? That's number one. I said, number two, do you feel like that community is anti-black? And I said, number three, when they're buying up all the houses, when they're buying up all the businesses, and, you know, white people and black people are moving out of the area, right? Is that not gentrification? Right? So now I'm making these points because let's keep it a buck. They're not inclusive when they're in their community. They don't do business with black people. I've never seen no black company and an Asian company merger and all of these sorts of things. But you absolutely take from my community. You take our money. You provide hair products. You literally have studied us, you understand, to get our money, but you don't share the wealth, right? But we are all minorities out here. And I said, no, I'm going to pull your card and I'm going to pressure you. Answer my questions. South Asians coming up. First of all, they were like, oh, I said, so why don't you share the wealth? oh, we look after our own. We look after our own. And I said, okay, cool. And then obviously they were like, oh yeah, because there's a history with the Pakistanis and the Indians and the Hindus and the Sikhs, and it was rolling into like, nationalities and also religious background. And I'm saying, you guys can't even define what it is, right? And I was very confused. I was like, it's even worse. And then they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So what do you call it when you're buying up all the stuff? Oh, well, that's just how we are. If the black community did that a lot more, then, you'd be able to make money and all of these sorts of things. And I'm sitting and I'm listening to this and I'm just like, but you're exactly like the white people. And they're like, oh, why is all the Asian hate? I said, it's not Asian hate. I'm asking questions. You understand? And you can't answer my questions, because if it was white people and they weren't including black people, we tell them, where's your inclusivity? Where's your diversity? Where's this? Where's that? And we crucify the white people, as we should. You understand? But when it comes to that community, all of a sudden now they're untouchable. We can't ask questions. We can't do this. We can't do that. And I said, nah. So now I did a second video. And I said, after I did my live, I come off a live. And then someone sent me a live and they had my face in the background, right?
Wow.
They had my face in the background and there was 4 South Asian men sitting on the live. And they were literally, the racism, that was coming out. I've never seen it, man. And I was like, you know what, let me join the live to defend it, you understand? Because I'm going to defend it.
Yeah.
So I went up there and they were like, oh, look at this Kali, and all of these sorts of things. Oh, Kunta Kinte and all of these sorts of things. Yes, they told me, go back to the jungle and all of these sorts of things. I said, I'm telling you this for free. I've never ever experienced racism the way they lit me up with racism.
Pod was that?
It wasn't a pod, it was a TikTok live.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I mean, weren't they a group of people that just
no, so on TikTok live.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, who put it together? What?
Oh, it was a South Asian guy, and then he had like most of the South Asian men on there. And I said, I'll answer your questions, but what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna tolerate the racism.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you have my name in your mouth, you need to spit it out, innit? If you want questions answered, oh, why all the Asian hate? I said, is it Asian hate to ask questions about why you guys flex the way you do? That's not Asian hate. Right? And then they started with the racism or whatever it is. And then they dropped me in it because obviously we were going back and forth. I was like, listen, we can go ban for ban, you understand? Right? So they dropped me and then literally whatever. So I was like, you know what? I went on my live and I asked my people, because my people on TikTok know me. You know what I'm saying? I'm there for the black community. And I asked them and I said, should we boycott Asian shops? Is that what we should do? And then every one of them said yes. Yes. Okay. Because how are black people supposed to mobilize if they're in our communities? It's not no Asian hating. It's about economics and why black people can't keep their black money within their community. So when you go to your corner shops and, the food stop that they sell, right? They sell our food. They go to the corner shops. They have chicken shops lined up in our thing. It's all going back into their community. How is it coming back into ours? We have to boycott them. We don't want to, but we have to boycott them to keep it within our community. Otherwise, how are we going to progress? Right? I can't do it on my own. I need black people to help me. And I also said as well, I said, black people, you need to take time with black businesses as well. Yeah. I said, because at the end of the day, nobody taught us. We're just doing it on our own and we're trying. So I said, you know what you need to do? If someone's given a bad service, take the manager to the side and said, you know what? I want to support your business, but this ain't right. And I need you to change that. You don't kiss your teeth and walk out, right? I said, we need to take time and we need to have grace with our people because nobody taught us this. And we have to stick to our own. So if we have to boycott them Asian shops just to show that we can actually do this, because too many times people say, we can't do this, we can't do that, we're criminals with this, with that. And I did a video and I said, I need to speak life into my people. I need to speak life into my people because we can't keep going through this. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of these people saying that my community is criminals. I'm tired of these people looking down on my community and thinking that we're nothing. I said, nah, man, we have to try this.
Hey.
Go on.
I do hear. There's so many points to it. I think we definitely have to buy black first. like that should be our first point of call. Everybody should have that consciously.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the problem is so many people don't, because they too are racist. And I guess it's trying to speak to a set of people that don't see anything wrong with the black pound not staying in black circles, because they're like, that's how the world works. There are so many black people that are so assimilated. They don't trust other black people the same way white and Asian people don't. I think realistically, it's a tough call. But I think it's definitely one that we should all be doing. You should try and buy black first. You should definitely seek it out. And I think grace to businesses is so important. For running a business, for like over 15 years, all of the complaints that I would get were always from black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I had white customers too. But when you piss a black person off, for one, they're going to write about it everywhere.
Absolutely.
They are the level of, like, they're so affronted, like you literally stole from them.
Mm.
They will go to that level.
Yeah.
Whereas other communities, I didn't really find that. Like, they're going to be pissed, but it's not the same. There's a venom, and I think for time, we don't really talk about it. But there is a hatred that we have for our own, and the success that we wish upon our community. Can people really hold it? Like, think of how folks go after Krept and Conan. Like, just anybody that does well, I feel like there is something else before we get to buying black that we need to address. Our self-esteem, how we view each other, that we are kin. I think that's the first steps. And then you get to, we're going to buy from each other.
I really think it all boils down to divide and conquer. Like, we have been done so dirty, in terms of, like, we don't respect each other enough.
Yeah.
We don't trust each other. And then when you do, someone's wishing for your downfall.
Yeah.
And then comes with all the economics of it all as well. Because if you think about a lot of black hair shops, let's take that for an example, right? You'll have a successful black hair shop, but then who's all the products coming from? Where are they buying that from? And then a lot of times what happens is when there is a successful black hair shop, the suppliers of that, or the high street, like I won't name the names, but there's some major suppliers in the Asian community, they will trigger the people that are supplying the main products to no longer deliver to those.
Yeah.
They'll interrupt that. We know this.
Yeah.
This has been documented.
Or open another
I'm
shop.
not lying about it.
Yes.
Or open another shop. So then
And
it's very hard.
Yeah.
So then when you're a individual with one shop, it's very hard to compete with a man who's got 10 shops or 20 shops and to sell at those prices. So I think we as black people have to give each other grace, but also have to understand the price is the price. And that's something that we don't generally respect.
Yes.
It's always like, well, why is it this? Because it is.
Yeah.
And that goes for food shops. That goes for everything. We're always complaining about why is this when I can go to there. The reason why other communities, and it isn't just the South Asian community, but they are very successful in black spaces. But if you look at other communities, why they are thriving, it is because they keep their money within their communities.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught not to do that because we have been displaced. And unfortunately, we haven't grasped onto the fact of divide and conquer enough and what that really means. It isn't just about within your own race colorism. It isn't just about that. It isn't just about tribalism. It isn't just about that. It's everything. It's a mentality. They've done such a number on us that we're unable to pull ourselves out of that to this day. It's the 21st fucking century, 2025, and we're still doing that shit.
This is the thing. I feel like as black people, we don't have the systems, right? And every time we try to build a system, the door was slammed in our face. It was shut. We were blocked and all of these sort of things. So if you keep kicking down a community, at some point they are going to give up because they're like, every single time I try to do this, it's not happening. But at the same time, when I spoke in that video, I said, we're going to have to keep trying again and trying again and trying again until we get it right. I said, you know what? I don't have all the answers, but I can suggest sort of things. I said, we need to start teaching each other. I said, people on TikTok Live, Instagram Live, talking about single this and all of that. No one gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Right now, no one gives a fuck. If you're about the black community and you want to teach, be and teach, you understand? Do a TikTok Live, Marketing Mondays. Who wants to market. This is what I'm doing. Wednesdays, wacky Wednesdays, whatever it is, you need to start using your voice and using your skill set. If you're doing a 9 to 5, you work as an accountant. Teach your people how to balance books.
Then the other problem is the other thing that we've been taught is that there's only room for one.
Yeah,
that's the other problem.
The new,
sorry, go ahead.
Go on, no, finish what you're saying.
No, it's okay.
I would say the younger generations seem to understand collaboration a bit more. I think the generations that have come from the direct Windrusher generation to the 80s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s, I think the mindset is changing now. Collaboration is starting to be a thing. I think as we're coming up and we're seeing a lot more in the creative space, especially, that people understanding that strength in numbers and knowing who's black in your corner is a real thing. I definitely collaborate with a lot of black people. I don't have the same issue. And I think also it's about how we phrase things, how we speak.
Yeah.
Because we need to speak kindly about each other.
Yeah.
I refuse to say that black people can't collaborate, because I know there's 100,000,001 businesses that are populated by black people, are frequented by black people. We might cuss as we go in and cuss as we leave, but we go back there next week.
Yeah.
So that's what we should amplify.
Yeah.
The companies, the businesses that are doing well, and the business that we frequent, we kind of do quite a good job of that on this pod, and we talk about it. The work that I do on a daily, the work that you do on a daily with your shop that you've had, the work that you do in the work that you do on a daily, where you're making sure that there's a focus or a highlight on bringing in black talent, what I do with the British Blacklist, all of that stuff. There are black people who are genuinely about that life. We just have to speak about them more. And in regards to the Asian conversation, I think, Krept and Conan are working with an Asian man to do the supermarket. So there are, just to say, it's not all Asian, not all South Asians, and there are black people that work with South Asians, and it's a great relationship, whatever the case is. But there is a misrepresentation of our culture that gets the stereotype, bad, negative press that other cultures consume and just assume about us. So in that, I would tell you to don't go on live with them and don't even get drawn into those conversations, because the internet's the internet, and it's gonna be hyper dramatized, over exaggerated, and they're gonna and all that click and all that stuff, and it just keeps doing that noise. What you need to do is it's not even about boycott the Asian shop. It's like, buy black. That's all your message is.
No,
buy black.
The reason why I disagree with that, sorry to cut you.
No, go on.
The reason why I disagree with that is because when you say buy black, we still are about convenience. Until we get out of that mindset to strictly go and buy black, you have to give black people options. If I don't give them options, what they're going to do, they're going to fall back into the cycle. You have to get, and this is what I'm saying, like when I said boycott the Asian shops, it's because they're literally in every single community.
But as you said, give the alternatives. So you can say, the only reason I'm saying, because I think getting tied up into a culture war also isn't helpful for us, because we just look like the aggressors or something.
No.
I'm not saying don't call it out. I think there's a conversation that I definitely think there's a conversation that needs to be had. And I think it's fair that we have these conversations, because I think you're right in that we don't talk about interculture and tribal issues.
Why do we have to include somebody else?
I don't think we have to conclude. But we say buy black and list all the black options.
But you're saying you don't have to boycott that.
I didn't say that. I said in your messaging, buy black.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you're saying don't say boycott, just say buy black.
Yeah,
but that's what she's saying. No,
it's basically like I just said. I mentioned that there was the boycott of non-black hair shops in September, right? And then what did I say? September finished, and where did everybody go?
Right.
That's what she's saying is, by saying boycott, and it's a stronger message when you say boycott.
But people boycotted and didn't. What
I'm saying is, when you say boycott, what that does is force you into one option.
Right.
Like there are things that I boycott now, and I'm forced into alternatives.
And looking at the labels and everything.
Exactly. I'm forced into alternatives. When you just say buy black, like if I can, cool, I'll buy black in it. But if buying black isn't available, that's what you mean.
Right. This is exactly.
And I agree with you. It isn't like I'm boycotting them. I'm just trying to invest into my community in the same way that they've invested in their community.
But my point, the only reason why is because sometimes it gets misconstrued as it's a boycott and it's a beat. It's not. That's why I'm just talking about. It's about us, and it's not about anything.
But it is a boycott because they do that, you know. Like within other cultures, when you actually really sit down and speak to them properly, they are taught it's us first.
Right.
It's not, and it's very clear. You don't go to Betty there.
Yeah.
You will go around the corner and you'll find Mr. Muhammad. But we don't have those conversations. It's not a thing because it's like, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. But that's the language, isn't it? It's like we don't need to do semantics. Boycotting something is what they
That's
do.
why I'm saying
They don't go and shop there for a reason because the shopkeeper isn't them.
Right.
And then within the Asian people, they do it even more. They will be like, we only go to the Sikh shops. We only go to the Pakistani. They do all of that. Black folks don't do it. It's hard. Even I'm thinking about it. Around me,
same.
There's one black shop.
Right.
There is one black shop
around me. I can't think of a shop that sells anything else but black food stuffs in my area.
There's a few near me.
Yeah. I'm talking about like conveniently going to the corner shop. There is one
supermarket.
But this is what I'm saying. When I put out that boycott, I didn't just leave black people in the wind to be like, yeah, let's boycott.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
So on my Instagram, I said, okay, cool. This is just the basics. I don't have all the answers, but this is the basics, right? If you can't physically shop a black shop, then you go online and you search for what you want. If you don't see anything online or whatever, then you go to a superstore. You don't go to that corner shop because it is Asian owned. You don't go to Asda, it is Asian owned, right? Until we can work out a self-sufficient system of what we've created for black people. So Christmas is coming up now. We need to look right now, November's approaching or whatever. We need to look for black butchers so we can start putting in our orders so they can start organizing themselves that, Monday they got the order, Wednesday they're out delivering to the community. They take another order on Friday, you got your turkey and whatever it is. Like, we need to start helping them create systems so we can keep the money in our community. That's the only way.
I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that. I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything.
It makes a huge difference. In 2020, when this was like being pushed, my business probably fivefold.
Yeah.
Like it went up dramatically for people just being like, look, I'm going to shop from you now. So then I could expand my range. It changed so much. I could redecorate my house. Like, literally, when you think about putting money into a black family, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that you are looking after. Now, when you're just thinking, I'm just going to go to the corner shop, I spend maybe 70 quid with them. But you put that into a black household and you keep on doing that. Yeah. How are you going to change people?
Talking about generational wealth and how we get there and what we do. Generational wealth should be like community focused as well. It shouldn't just be like my little house and this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you invest in your community? It's stuff like that. And this. You said something amazing on your on Instagram. You said the difference. What you're saying to people is what you're saying to the South Asian community. You're not saying they never had it hard.
No.
You're not saying that at all. But what you're saying to them is that you were just a few steps ahead.
Right.
And those few steps ahead mean something because that means that we're always behind.
That is breaking down the history of it all is very important.
Very important.
Because it's overlooked. It's overlooked
and for them as well. Their young people don't even know about that shit.
They didn't. Honestly, when I went on the TikTok live, they didn't know. Mm-hmm. They did not know. They weren't in the know. They just thought, oh, you're hating on us because we worked hard. I'm saying absolutely. The one thing that I can say about the South Asian community, they work hard. Yeah. They will take any job. They will do any job for any sort of piece of money. They work hard. You understand? But I'm also saying systemically. I'm not saying individually. And this is where they confuse the two. I said systemically, you had access that black people didn't. And I broke it down even more and I said the UK government declared war on us, right? That is the difference. Your community weren't pressured. Your black boys weren't pulled up, stop and search and all of these sorts of things. And then we have to, so the UK government is attacking us from this space and then we have to live amongst white people racially attacking us from this space. How do we prosper? Right? We're not focused on business anymore because I need to save my son's life. Yeah. We're not focused on that because I need to get a house so my kids can have somewhere to lay. Right? If those stresses were taken away, we absolutely could build our community.
Also, they have religion.
When people are able to get out of certain situations, we thrive.
Yeah,
but this is what I'm talking about. They've really done a number on us because they don't want us to thrive. So they put these obstacles, as you say, in the place, they put it in the way.
Yes.
And then they enable other people to do a little bit better. And then what do they create there? They create hate amongst people.
Right.
And it's just like, I feel sorry for you that you went on to this live and you were subjected to all of that racism.
Yeah.
Because the people that were racist to you, you were giving them facts. It's like when you talk to racist people and you give them facts, they can never come back with answers to what you're saying.
Yeah.
The easy way out is to just go for racism.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
But them
yeah, and name calling.
And that's why I was like,
and all
more,
of
that's
that
what
shit.
we're
all of this stuff.
Makes no, but sometimes I do think they need to hear it, and they
Yeah.
need to understand because they can. Well, just think of the government now, and all of the South Asian people that are in government that are very easily spouting things about immigrants.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that when you had roots here. They were basically training Asian people up to be doctors, and you were able to come over here. They were doing that within the Punjab. They did that, and the British love to do that with certain communities. They will be like, "We're going to give you more education than these lot." So that they do that stepping system. But Muslims as well, that you are able to have loans where you don't pay interest on it. You again are a step ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you have access to money, but that you have a religion that you can pull into, whereas for the majority of Black people, they're still under the kibosh of Christianity with no benefits to it, is very different. Having loans that you can have access to, where you can, in servitude to your imam, you can go and ask for help, or within family systems, it's like partners. This is what we need to really be like. We need a partner system
But
going
we
again.
did it.
We do it. But then we
We do it
assimilate,
and then you let it go.
Since I've been
We do
doing a
susu, we do
partner,
partners. It's
same
a
thing.
smaller
I've
thing.
been doing it.
I know.
I've been doing it since I was about 16, and that's because my grandparents did it, and that's why I know, like, a partner. And I do feel like everybody needs to have a little partner, and because that has allowed me to do certain things that I would not have been able to do. That has allowed people that I'm in partners with to do things that they've not would have been able.
But it should be institutionalized in the same way they have their own banks.
Absolutely.
We should be able to have our own banking system in the same way.
But what happens with the partner, and when you explain it or you try to make it more mainstream, you get told that, oh, it's just a pyramid scheme.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
Whoever says that, that's your business.
But this is what these are the connotations that they want to put on it. So then that builds mistrust within our community.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I going to do a partner?
Yeah.
Why am I doing a partner?
It's funny that I've never heard anyone say why. Yeah, but it was your
say, why am I doing a partner?
My thing was like, protect your peace and do what you're doing and say what you're saying. And education is cool, but protect your peace as well.
You know what?
Being dragged in by racists talking shit on you.
Yeah. You know what? This is the thing. Like, I've always said this, like, I don't want to be a role model. I don't want to be an activist, because then that puts stipulations on me. Elaine, you can't act this way. You can't act that way. You're representing the community. You need to do. I don't want that, because I'll fuck it all off. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to be me. If I'm passionate about something, I'm going to speak on it because I'm for truth. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want people to put me in a box to where I now am representing the whole. I said I don't. But this is what happens with our community, because I'm feeling it when people are asking me, oh, Elaine, where should we go? What should we do? I don't have all the answers. You need to help me.
I think it's a part what you're doing, like coming on here, talking about it.
Yeah.
We are always about, like, as where you can is buy Black, wherever you can buy Black. And you just lean on your community as well. Like, it's not all on your back. It's definitely not all on Elaine's back. Leave her the fuck alone.
Leave it alone.
You should have that for anybody that you think is a leader.
Yeah.
This is where we go wrong.
Yeah.
You try and mold the leader to be like, this is the Jesus that I'm looking for.
Right.
Absolutely not. Do for self. Like, actually, you can take nuggets from what they're saying, apply it with your own critical thinking, and be like, this is how I'm going to mobilize myself. We do not need to be told by anybody what to do.
Yeah, we know.
Like, that's when they infiltrate. When we try and look up to a person, that's when they go and kill them.
Right.
Like, absolutely. Use your brains.
Right.
Silence
Pay them off.
Or give them some charge of some type of, they will reduce the person so that we're all like, oh no, we can't listen to them. Let's
right now,
they're
they're calling me Elaine Robinson. I said, let me run with that, because I'll change my name real quick. I said, I will be the villain if it uplifts my community. I don't give a fuck. Fuck your feelings, because my community have been left behind for far too long. Fuck your feelings right now. It's about my community. And if my community need to do this, then that's what the fuck they're going to do. Nobody else needs to chat.
It's always surprising to me that when we say we want to do that shit, we're
right.
When other people
divisive.
say they want to do that shit, it's okay.
It's divisive. We need unity. That's what they're telling me.
When you speak your truth in the way that you speak it, it's not always going to land.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was reacting to, like protecting yourself and just being careful with words. But sometimes you just got to kamikaze through it and say what it is and let the chips fall.
Right.
It's just the individuals that are the truth tellers, you guys come to sometimes suffer first. We went through it when we talked about Americans. It will blow over also.
Oh,
The people
trust
get
me.
tired.
Me and the Americans have a
No,
lovely
she's
relationship. Me and the Americans have a
No,
lovely relationship.
I love your reaction.
I don't give a
Like,
fuck.
it's what it is.
Right.
It is what it is everywhere.
So when I was like doing my research on like how the South Asian community has studied us, right? Take for instance, I'll bring up these companies, Turtle Bay, Asian and white owned. Africana now in the last couple of years is literally a black cuisine, but who owns it? Asian. Pax, the hair shop, who owns it? Asian, right? And none of that money flows back into the Bumba community. To me, that makes me vex.
Yeah.
You understand? Because we're putting money in your blood clot pocket. You think white people could get away with that? You think white people could get away with doing that? The same way we crucify white people, rightly so. Why can't we crucify you? Right?
Yeah.
Come on now.
The black pound is strong, and they know that. That's why if they didn't care, if it didn't mean anything, they wouldn't be coming up with saying, "Oh, it's so it's too diversive." Like they wouldn't make
whole culture.
they wouldn't make they wouldn't mention it. Like we spoke a few weeks ago about having a boycott day, basically where people of color just don't
down
turn
tools.
up.
Yeah.
Down
Go to
tools for
work.
2 days. Right. If I've been reading the comments, you know, I don't read the comments often because I think people chat shit, right? But I've been reading the comments. I'm like, these people are dumb. The way that they're coming, so what? Nothing would change. Like they're coming for us.
They're
in the comments
negative.
about what we're saying. What do you go? You haven't even got passports. All this, like the things that people are saying.
That's
If you
so
don't care, why are you in here? If we don't mean nothing to you and it's not going to affect your life, why are you in here talking?
Right.
Come out then, innit?
Right.
The message wasn't for you anyway.
Just what I'm saying.
It's just show of power.
Yeah.
Maybe that could change something. I don't know though. I feel like as I get older, I become more jaded in our community. I get more like, fuck's sake, I don't know how. I don't know what is going to be needed to shake us all up other than flipping aliens coming. Because it's just like,
it just seems like
what can you do? Everybody is so complacent, so comfortable on the verge of the comfortability is going to go. Like we are in emergency stakes now. And it just annoys me that people are just kind of, as Jeff Schumann used to say, dancing your way through life. And before you know it, we're going to be like, oh, fuck, we had a moment where we could have been all galvanized and done something, but we weren't. We were...
I just feel like with... Yeah, go on.
No, go, finish.
I just feel like with the challenges of like, you know, certain black people being negative and stuff like that, like even when they were in my comments, oh, this won't change anything. And I was saying, we don't need that negativity right now.
Yeah.
So what, instead of coming with your negativity, come with a suggestion or solution.
That's the point.
like an alternative.
Come with an alternative. If not, I don't need to hear that right now.
That's like the this is a little bit off topic, but when we put the clip up about Marvin, and he was talking about his perspective of don't ask men why they're single. His perspective, mine is, and that shit, whoever that bloody author is that came to comment and say boring. I was like, how incensed. Of all the comments we could ever comment. And the thing is, I clicked on it to see if it was a bot. You're not even a bot.
No,
You're
no,
a real person. I know
she's real,
people that are
she's real.
following you. Are you crazy?
I was only restrained in my response because when I go off, you're like, you can't go off on people like that. But when I saw she was real, so that's why I did a calm, thank you for your comment, and put donut.
You put donut.
But
she came
my
back and said
first
yum.
writing was
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I wanna come
you're an
from.
idiot. Like literally, it's like you're so stupid.
I would have said,
Piss
how are the
off.
crumbs? That's what I would have said.
And
You know
the
me.
chance I was working. I saw
quick
it.
with it.
I'm so angry.
Mm.
I said donut. I said,
I haven't seen it.
and all she said was boring, and I was like, I got my body seethed. Because like, first of all, it was a perspective that you don't hear. How can you say boring? How many? Oh my god, I could go on. And those are the naysayers and the Neanderthals
Right.
that undermine the conversation because where I sit is relationships, black love, black relationship, strength in the unity of love and marriage and
Or
kids
you
and
just
family.
ignore them, innit?
And
I
then
don't know.
But it's like sometimes you people are the people.
They wear thin on me, man. I can't stand them.
Boring, you know.
Jarring.
Boring.
The cluster of sting. And blocked her as well, so she can't respond. You know what? Hard work.
And you're scarred.
Tears.
Right?
Get another fake.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I tell you.
I should actually do
those
that. But
guys
when they're going into their paragraphs, but then they get even more annoyed because then I'll just do emojis. And they'll be like, why are you doing emojis? Clowns.
I'll do essays. And,
I'm not doing essay for essay.
No.
I do paragraphs and everything. I like it.
This is how it goes, yeah? She comes out all guns blazing, cussing, donuts, all types of type of shit, yeah?
I'll do paragraph, cussing.
Most eloquently,
Elegant
read them.
essay, and I will just block them motherfuckers.
Yeah. So you get a range of that.
You guys are all three of me. It just depends on my mood.
Exactly. Because I think people have been trying. The temper that's buried deep within me is coming out. That boring got me. Oh, my chest.
And it was just unnecessary as well. That was my first thing. It's like, this is unnecessary. You're having a shit day. Like, was going in. And you always got to bring in, are you in a basement? And I was like, you know what? Got told off for this.
Do you know what? Sometimes because, do you know what? It's fine. Sorry.
You know what that reminds me?
You don't want to unleash me because you know.
You know the video that I did when I cussed out loons, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think you've seen it.
No, I saw it. Because I saw him talking about it as well.
That shit.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That shit.
I said, let me get ready because this nigga don't know who the
what you
fuck
did,
I am,
What
right?
you did was this. You went, okay.
In it, I said, right. I said, who is Poppy Loons and why is he commenting on black women's hair? Yeah? And literally, and this is the thing as well, like we were going back and forth in the comments or whatever, right? And he mentioned like my hormonal acne on my chin or whatever. Oh yeah, you've got like hair or whatever. I said, yeah, I've got hair in my chin because I've got bigger balls than you. So if you want to juggle them in your blood clot throat, then do that. Yes? You know what I'm saying?
You know,
What do you think
you
this
know,
is?
he properly backed down though, innit?
Absolutely. He was like,
When he went on his when he went on his phone, he was like, I didn't even mean it like that. I didn't even mean it like that.
It was love yourself queen. I said, no, the fuck you didn't. No, you
He
didn't.
never said love yourself, queen.
Right.
I was crazy.
I was like, I'm crazy.
Right. And then the illiterate asshole thought I was attacking interracial marriages. I said, listen, no one's attacking your interracial relationships,
I didn't
whatever.
even know
If
he was with
black
her.
men want to have that.
But that's the thing. When people get triggered
Yes.
and defensive, let's peel back the layers of what's going on in your own yard.
Right.
Oh,
It's
Lou.
boring. What's happening in your home?
No, he backed down. He was like, nah.
Stuff that up
And he
all
actually
the
did
time.
say, I don't actually want any smoke with her.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, no, you don't want any smoke with her.
You know when I know someone's gonna get it? When you got your headscarf on.
Yeah.
You see, when you got your headscarf on, yeah, I'm like, Mamba Club. Like, let's watch it. Where's my popcorn?
It's good that you do that, but also protect your peace.
Yeah.
It's good that you
absolutely
do that.
protect your
Protect
peace.
your peace, because
Don't run up in people them things.
I'm
It's not worth
trying.
it.
Yeah. No, that
that
was my
Stay in the
first
same
and last time.
space.
Yeah. That was my first and last
Yeah.
time. But they are really descending on me like a bag of locusts. I'm not gonna lie. They
It's
are
gonna-
descending on me like a bag
They-
of
Guys,
would
leave
do
it the
that.
fuck alone because you're truth telling. If you don't like it, it's uncomfortable. It's about discourse because these conversations we don't have.
Yeah.
We do need to have them.
Yeah.
If you really are about community building and interculture sharing of the wealth, then let's have these conversations. You're going to get through the uncomfortable bit. Africans, Caribbeans had to go through it.
Right.
We're on the other side of it.
Right.
So now, if you really want to have the
You need to
conversation,
understand
then
who the
understand
enemy
what it is. Yeah, because not
That's
us.
what it is.
Yeah.
Understand
we
who
might
the
say
enemy
things
is.
in a bit raw, a bit rude, way, but then let's go.
Everybody does.
And they have to be intentional as well.
Yeah.
Like actually, like how PAX was, I don't know if they kept it up, but when they were under pressure in 2020, and then they were like, we're going to work towards 30% of our stock actually coming from the black community. And it's like,
Is that?
has anybody put the pressure on to assess if it is? I even think 30% is taking the piss. I actually
Yeah.
think it should be 70%.
Yeah.
And they try to He went back on it though, but he did try and say that actually our customer base is only 40% black, and it's like, so don't.
Oh, shut up.
I remember.
No.
Shut
It's
up.
like, really?
He did try, he tried, but I think he actually revised that because it's like, you don't want us to not come into your shop because there are places in America where they had to shut down. People were so adamant we ain't going in, they were not able to keep up basically it's a loan, innit?
Yeah.
They couldn't keep up their loan repayments to the suppliers, so they closed down. So it's like, you guys don't want that to happen here. So
Just
you
look
have
at the
to...
Peckham shop. When the man tried to strangle up the woman or whatever it is. And this is what, even that escalating, right, it's because he said she can't have a refund. We are in a YT. Who are you to tell me that I can't have a refund? Every time you walk into their store, it's that printed on the blood clot receipt.
Yeah. And
you can't have a refund. You're literally violating my consumer rights, right? And I can actually report you to trading standards.
Yeah.
And this is what we need to fucking do, because who are you to tell me that I can't have a refund? And that's when she went and pick up things, and she was like, well, no. And that's when he went and whatever and choked her out and all of these sorts of things. But black people did their thing. Right. But black people did their thing because we spend with you, and that's how you treat us. That's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad.
That needs to be reversed.
Yes. It's very
You can't disrespect
very
your
important.
clientele. You can't disrespect your clientele. All right.
I like the applying pressure. I love it.
My enemy of progress.
Go on.
Of the plenty that I have, my first will be Mr. David Norris. He's one of Stephen Lawrence's killers, and he's apparently apologised to the victim's family, to Stephen Lawrence's family, Doreen and Neville. Sorry, Baroness Doreen Lawrence. At a family parole hearing that's got coming up, admitting that he did punch. Admitting that he punched the teenager, but he still continues to deny that he stabbed him. But he's also refusing to name who did. He says he now describes. He's 49 years old now. And he describes himself as a 16-year-old, horrible, violent racist at the time of the 1993 attack, saying he acted out of gang loyalty and impulse. He told the hearing, "I'm deeply sorry, please forgive me," but insisted that if he revealed the details of who actually stabbed Stephen Lawrence, may he rest in peace, his family and he will be at risk. So Baroness Doreen Lawrence has rejected the apology, calling Norris a danger to society. And Mr. Lawrence has said the timing is cynical because it's only just come before his parole hearing that he's pleading innocence, guilt, and I'm so sorry. The parole board's going to decide later this month whether he remains in prison or is released or moved to an open prison. And we all hope he's not released. I
don't even want him to go to an open prison. I want him to absolutely stay in prison. The only way, and he still needs to do more time, but he does need to say everybody else. So if he became like a proper witness, a state's witness, and was like, look, it was these guys and they also come in and do time, then you could come out and, let's say, give him 15 more years for the time that they were out, because he was living a life. But he was, how long has he even been in? Is it like just 6 years or something? He ain't even been in that long.
He hasn't, because it took them a while to
get him.
Yeah, so you were living a life outside as well, so you got to do more time now.
And the fact that you know who killed him and you're not speaking, that alone should keep you shut down, because you're withholding evidence. You actually have evidence. So that means you if you don't want to tell, then you hold that sentence, because generally
he's only done 13 years. He can kiss my back.
He's on 13 so far.
But
yeah. 15
generally more. I am an advocate for rehabilitation. I can't be a hypocrite. I definitely think someone who was in their teenage years, depending on what they've done. I'm just saying that I definitely have thoughts about teenagers that do things and when they're adult, and show remorse, repent, confess what really happened if you need to. This guy has so far been accused, has been found to be grooming people who are to encourage racism to other inmates, and he has been found to have been using racial slurs. This man has not changed. He has not made any kind of penance or anything. Stay the fuck in jail. What I was going to say
is, I'm obviously an advocate for rehabilitation and stuff like that as well. But the thing with this guy is, all the things that you said, he has not repented at all. Even when he was being trialed for this crime, the way that he was acting, cocky, all of this shit. Like he don't care. It's because he's up for parole. When you go up for parole, you're supposed to show that you have, I've repented, I've remorsed, I've been reading the book of the word of the Lord. Bibles. I've studied, I've had therapy, because at that point, that is when they release you. He got a life sentence, right? sometimes life should mean life, and I don't mean that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he was outside for a long period of
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
No one was brought to justice. He was outside for a very long period of time, living his life while Stephen was dead.
Mm-hmm. And that's
He needs more years.
Doing more time.
I'd literally say, like, listen, if I was parole board, I'd be like, listen, either confess who did it or you're not getting your freedom. Point
Basically.
blank, period.
Do you know what I would say as well?
Simple,
Point blank,
isn't it?
period. Simple
Very,
things.
very, very
They know who was with him
Yeah.
at the time, and it's very convenient how they use joint enterprise when they want to.
when they want
Yes.
to.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Yeah, but not with these guys. Most definitely. I mean, as the two brothers that are out here swanning around, who apparently he's scared of, they're criminals, and they had people within the police force as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I understand this whole, like, they're going to kill my family. But if you want your freedom, then you've got to see it as it's me or them, innit?
Yeah.
So you put them all away and try and get your freedom, or while they're swanning around doing whatever they're doing on the streets, you got to serve their time.
Yeah,
It's really, it's how you see it.
He has to turn into a witness.
Yeah.
You have to
If you want to get out, then they got to come and do the time, because
Yeah.
somebody is doing life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would be seeing it as it's either me or them.
Yeah.
Yo, you even think when the judge slapped me with life, I was like, let me clear my throat. Yeah,
Because if I just punch, I'm not taking time on somebody that stabbed a kid.
Tell you lot this now. I've said this many, many times. Joint enterprise ain't applying to me because I will be singing like a bird in a blood clot tree.
And my name
Yeah.
will be Sarah Jane, and I live in.
My name will be far
Well,
off.
I'm out
of the
'Cause
country,
I
innit?
said it.
Put me in
I did it.
Australia or wherever.
I did it. I'm telling this person, that person, and this is how they executed it, and this is when it went down, and they said this to him, and blah blah blah. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, if you-
grass, whatever the fuck.
If you're in it and you're in the business, you're in the streets, whatever, you know what it is. If you want to be, don't want to be a snitch, whatever the case is. I'm a civilian. So if I'm caught up with that,
That
know that
part.
I'm not supposed to be involved.
That's what I mean.
So that means you can't be vexing me because I'm not a road
I'm
girl.
not a rock.
But even if I was and I got caught,
yeah.
I
I ain't
all
going
of
down
this,
to you,
I'm not,
Heather. You
absolutely
crazy.
not.
I'd be like, it's you, and you.
They did it.
And this is how they did it. And they were helped by this
how
one,
they
this one,
did
this
it.
That's
one.
why I'm not saying it because I can't live.
Dobbing on everybody. Like, well, and if you don't, he's got to do life.
Who's
What-
riding or
what's he got?
dying? Not
30,
my friends.
49. He may have 30 more years alive.
Slap that.
Wow. You
Make that community
you
your
enjoyed
community.
your time outside, didn't you?
Yeah.
Isn't
So,
it?
You're having a whale of a time.
Yeah.
Because if he went in when he was 16, he'd be out.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
He probably would have
And
done
at
about
that
12 years or
point,
something.
I would have felt that he would have repented and would have really changed. And, but I don't feel that now.
No, they're absolute rotters anyway. They're disgraces. They
All
they
of
need
you.
to stay in.
It'd have
Definitely.
been.
So while I was scrolling online, there's a woman. You've probably all seen her. She was crying on Facebook Live in her wedding dress because her man,
Oh.
she found out her husband, she'd been married to him for 6 months. Her husband cheated on her, and she found out, and she was drunk in her wedding dress talking about, I cannot believe that he did this to me. Have you not seen it?
I got told up. Every man that ever came in my life, they hurt me, right? So I took 2 years. 2 years. I didn't date nobody. I didn't talk to nobody. He came in my life out the blue. He came in my life out the blue, right? And I said, God, he gotta be the one, right? He gotta be the one. Because I wasn't looking for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew he was the one. Right? My kids' dad left. They said, fuck my kids. I raised my kids by myself. My grandma helped me. I've been through hell and back. So you know what? This ain't his fault. The problem is, I can't take no more. That's the problem. I can't take no more. You understand?
I felt sorry for her.
Me too.
That's one thing. You can comment on how you felt about the video. But then in the comments, somebody wrote, she's only so upset because the woman is uglier than her. And I was like, what the hell?
That is so rude.
How do you set her world has fallen apart, but your comment is the woman that he cheated on is uglier than her, which got me to thinking, what is worse? So it's one thing to be cheated on, but if the person is truly uglier than you, does that make it worse? Or would it be worse if they were prettier than you and so you understood why they cheat? Like which way hits your heart more? Because I was totally like, that's a fuckery's thing to say and that could really hurt her feelings. But say if the person is worse, I was like, I think that's worse. If the person is an absolute booters, you'd be like, what the hell?
If she's a mess, like if she's a monster, I'd be like, you fucking dirty bastard. How fucking dare you? I want to kick off his face just for cheating, but kicking off his face because she's an ugly mutt as well. Like, are you crazy?
It's like, it's even more insulting.
It's insulting. I don't give a...
I don't know. I've got to think on this. If she's butterser than me.
That's even facey that they said she's ugly. The woman ain't even ugly. I was like, you're so rude.
It's out of order.
Comment is rude.
Yeah.
And she's only... Okay, all right, okay. The other day, I saw a picture of an ex with a chick. And I was like...
Is that your chick?
I was like, and I don't even know if it was a chick, but they were positioned in a way that like, okay, it looks like you got together. All right, say nothing. I'm over you now, finally. She was plain. And I was like, she's plain. I was like, all right. And I felt okay because like, she's plain. I was like, all right, I get it. She wasn't butters, but she was plain. And it didn't tap into any of my insecurities or anything. I was like,
good.
I'm better than her. But, or I'm different. I'm not even better. I didn't say that actually. I'm different. She's plain. And I was all right with that. I don't know if she was prettier, I would have felt better. If she was uglier, I might have felt smug. Like, okay, that's where you're going. I don't know if I would have been insulted because I would think that, what if that's what you want? I know I'm better than that, so let me go about my business. So I don't know if I'd be insulted if she was uglier. Yeah. If she's prettier, that means was I? It's my version of looking down on that one. It's like, so, yo, is it?
Was I the ugly dog?
Basic stopover.
Yeah, right.
What you really want. That's possibly where I'd go. With the pretty one.
No. I don't know. Because I think when you finish with somebody and they move on and you see who they're with, there's always a little bit of you that's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've experienced where I've been like, oh no, but they're pretty though. Do you know what it is with me? I'm going to be honest. I feel like I always want to be the bigger person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always like, no, I get it. I understand. But they're pretty
good.
though.
You're good.
That's how I feel. Like, oh, I get it.
But if they cheated on you,
I've had that as well,
and they were prettier,
I think I say, oh, I get it. I understand.
But if they were uglier,
but beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Oh, Lord.
No, but I swear, I don't
Which one would you pick?
No, this is what I'm saying.
Which one would be insulting?
I don't think I've ever seen an ex and been like, later, why are they with their butters? I don't think I've ever had that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that.
So and also, I think that if it was just a cheating thing, then this is wicked, I suppose. If the person is uglier, then it's like desperation's afoot here.
Yeah.
You're desperate, and she's definitely desperate. She's like, thank fuck.
Yeah.
So you're rocking her world, and I'm going to be more like, probably feel like, girl, I get it. You just took what you could. Could you not get anything? Might have been a bit.
Wow.
Well, if she unless she's a confident butters, but if she's a butters that's living a butters life, and this guy that's beautiful comes to her and it's like, hey, I'll give you my dick, I'm be like, look at you. I'm also going to be more annoyed with the man because you're actually now mashing up this girl, making her feel bigger than she is. You're just fucking with her, and you're just being a mess. So it's more like that, more like, oh, tramp, rather than, oh my God, she's ugly.
What makes me side-eye guys more is when you're with a guy and he says, this is what I like, blah, 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 gives you a list, yeah?
That part.
And then they finish with you, or you finish with them, or the relationship's done, dusted. And then you see them with their next chick. And everything you said you didn't like is the chick.
Is the, yeah.
BBL, lips are okay now. So lipstick is okay now.
Mm-hmm.
So wearing short skirts is okay now.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Any
just
little thing.
they were just
Right.
doing
That's
their
okay
shit.
now.
Right?
I remember I saw an extra with his wife. We had a mutual friend. And I remember looking at his wife. And it wasn't like, oh, she's ugly. But I remember thinking, rah, you really did go for everything that you said you didn't like. Everything. So that's very
Yeah, he was
interesting.
probably diverting your attention
Yeah.
from actually what he truly is after. I think I would be affronted. Absolutely.
I think-
Especially in a marriage. Like, she ain't even been married that long. It's like, you crushed everything.
Yeah,
If
I'd
it's
be
true,
livid
I'd be like,
about
what the
that.
hell?
I'd be livid about that. I'd be so angry. So I'm like, you wasted my motherfucking money, my time, and all of these sorts of things, right? Just because you couldn't control. I'd be so angry and so livid. Like, yeah, the cheating and whatever it is, but you've literally broken me. Like, it's not even, I can't respect you anymore. I can't trust you anymore. We're now married. Now we have to spend more money because I'm not going to stick around and do this with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many layers. So many layers.
And I think she's doing that.
Found out. How did she find out?
I don't know.
She just was crying.
The girl probably stood up in the wedding.
I don't know. It could have been through his phone. I'm not sure, like, how
Why
she...
would you check his phone on your wedding day?
Well, no, it's 6 months. They've been married.
married.
Oh, man.
Oh, married 6
Yeah, they've been married 6
months.
months. But all of her wedding pictures and the video, like, it was a...
So why was
you know,
she
within
crying
their
in her
friendship.
wedding dress?
I think she put it on. You know, when you
Oh, bitch, stop. Stop.
That's why I didn't want to go there.
You know,
I'd rather
when
not
you're
talk
just
about
like,
no,
it.
stop
you know, when you're
it.
just
I'd
like,
rather not talk
and then you're
about
like,
it.
I'm going to put it on, and she twirls around.
Pretty I looked when we were married.
Pull your fucking self together. Pull yourself
I didn't
together.
want to talk about that. I couldn't go there.
Where
I
she
couldn't-
fucked up
No.
was
I
when
can't
she
talk
went
about
on
that.
live.
That's
Like, you could do
And
that in
crying
the
on
that,
live.
you know what that reminds me of? That's like, you
friend.
know, when a woman proposes to a man, it's so fucking cringe. Like, don't do that shit. Do you know what I mean? Don't do that shit.
I want women to feel free to do what they want. I don't like the shackles of sexism.
No!
However, okay, I want us to be free of the shackles of sexism. Propose if you want to, but just be prepared for the outcome.
I hate it.
No.
Don't
hate-
do it
I hate
online.
watching it.
Do it in a
Yeah.
private, quiet
Please,
space where you
Don't share the videos.
Don't share
I
anything.
hate
But
seeing
I hate
it.
that anyway.
It just
I
makes
hate
me
any,
cringe.
like, public proposal.
do it.
I get what you're saying. I
find
get what
it
you're
cringe
saying.
because
Yeah.
I always feel like, does the person really want it? Are you just saying yes because it's in a moment?
Mm.
It would have to be like, you know for certain. We have
100%.
discussed
Yeah.
that I'm going to say yes to you and I don't mind you doing it in front of the world. But don't propose me. Don't do that.
Would you have the guts? So, would you have the guts to say no if you
Absolutely
didn't
not.
feel?
I'd say yes. And when everyone
Behind the scenes.
I'm saying, by the way,
Yeah.
I only said that because I didn't want to embarrass you. But the answer is no.
No, it's not.
I'll straight up and down say,
No,
away.
I cannot.
I'll straight up. You know me. What do you mean?
No, the thing is, for a man to get, you'd have to be Delulu to think that without.
They are, though.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
They
Okay.
are.
If you're
They
Delulu-
don't read the
Yeah.
room, read the
No.
woman, read her sexual
will be-
nothing. They can't read nothing.
You'll be wanting to dump him, yeah? And he'd be like, yeah, all she needs is a ring.
A ring,
Yeah.
yes.
Keep her.
Oh, do you know?
Who just said that? Someone
Listen.
said that to them. Someone just said that.
I was talking about Sharona. Yeah, Sharona had that. She actually spoke about it the other day, so she won't mind me talking about it. But yeah, one of her exes, it was on the way out. And he's like, I know what I'll do to keep her. I'm going to get her a ring.
Yeah, no.
And it came up because she told me about it, but she didn't even tell everyone that she was proposed to. And she had the ring on. She was like, oh yeah, this was the ring. And they were all like, what? When did
She
you get...
kept the ring.
Yeah. I mean, it's an engagement ring. Afterwards, I was saying it's an engagement ring. That's
Yeah.
a present. Like, you don't give it back.
No, you don't get that shit back. Sorry.
But she was never going to marry
I
him.
don't care if it's your nan.
He just...
Mine now.
Oh, fuck.
Absolutely not.
That's straight.
No,
Mine
but
now.
Yeah, it's a
Give
present.
it
I'm gonna pawn it.
Oh, see, I know a woman that did that to one of my friends. I thought that was so dread.
What?
Kept the ring and pawned it and paid off her debts. Bitch.
Yeah, it's a present though.
Bitch. Fucking present. It's an engagement.
Yeah, it's not a present.
It's
Love
a
that.
I feel like if
promise to be wed.
you go
The friend
through and you
be
give
ready.
me an engagement ring,
Tainted.
mine.
No, it's tainted.
I think it's tainted, and also only if you go on to do fuck before we get married, and you do fuckery, I'm keeping it. But
Boy.
but if I don't want you in that moment, then I'm
No,
Anyway.
I'm wearing it around my blood clot neck.
about my enemies. These were talking about these things. These were talking about rings and weddings and ting and ting and ting and ting.
Yeah.
My enemy is Jenny from, actually not the block, because it's just discovered that she's really from the block.
I know.
But yeah,
little-
Jenny. J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez. She's in the bin for me this week because, you know, she's always playing Pull Me One. Oh,
Yeah.
So like, oh, pull me, woe is me. Woe is...
Yeah.
She literally is always playing Pull Me One.
Yeah.
But she was on Howard Stern and he was like to her, do you think you've ever really been loved? And she said, no.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable. It's that they're not capable.
they can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They have
They
not-
need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have
They
little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's
gave
not
me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
You tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't,
and didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
And you know, I was thinking about your music. Most of your songs are about love. They really are.
They're all
And-
about love.
I don't think I've ever really... No, actually, she did this. No, I don't think I've ever really been loved. And then her first husband came out and he was like, bitch, please. He basically said, you cheated on me. What are you talking about? Stop playing the victim. You cheated on me when we were together. I loved you more than I loved myself. I gave you my all. It's not the people that are, it's not the men you're marrying that are a problem. You're the problem.
Yes.
And I respect him because I feel like he said what the real thing is. Because if we take Exhibit Ben,
Mm.
right? now Ben, as in Affleck, Exhibit Ben, right? Ben's got issues. I'm not going to say and act like he doesn't have issues, yeah?
No.
But like when they were together, part of his issues were the fame and how she was trying to like capitalize on their
Yeah.
fame. He was doing it a bit too, and then he was like, actually, no, this isn't for me. I'm like from Boston. I want to keep it low key, whatever. They got back together. He had get this beautiful book of all the letters and stuff that he'd written to her over the time, and he gave it to her. And rather than her keeping that to herself, what did she do? She made a movie about it.
What?
Yeah.
She made a whole movie about it.
Yeah, their
And
love
they were
story.
telling her, don't make this movie. Like her company, that like all the film companies that she went to, they were telling her, don't do this, yeah?
I missed it.
Wasn't
made
this
a
the
whole-
musical?
It was a musical.
Oh, was
about
it
her
musical?
event.
That shit musical.
Yeah.
It's about her event.
Stop it.
And then because it
I
wasn't
ignored
getting
it.
the funding, she did a behind the scenes of making the musical and
I
how
didn't
hard it
watch
was
it.
to do that, right?
That was so embarrassing.
But this is when you got to see that Ben didn't know that that's what she was doing. So she was telling him about it. And he's like, yeah. She said, yeah, I gave it to all my, I gave it to everybody to read. And he was like, wait, the book, you see him? The book that I gave you gave it to everybody to read? And she's like,
Her beauty, her booty, and her bank account. So buy a boy to him. Bobby, this isn't about me and you. Bobby, take that out.
No, this is what.
That is not part of the script.
you're the problem, Jennifer.
Yeah.
No,
Them man there loved you.
Mm-hmm.
You let your ego and lots of different things get in the way. Maybe now that you're at the point where you're like, marriage isn't for me, I respect it. But you are the enemy, though. Stop coming out here acting like men didn't love you and you haven't been loved. You have. You
I
just
think
don't
it's very
realise it
rude.
doesn't cost a thing.
It's very rude to actually, like, for people that you've married to be like, and been engaged to, yeah, I don't think anybody's really loved me. It's like, that's a rude. But I did see in the comments, people were like, they don't think she was talking about him.
I don't think
Like,
she's talking about
they
it.
were
But she
saying,
said- but she
she doesn't
said
remember
none of
that.
ever.
marriage.
It's the words
But
ever.
she don't remember that marriage. It
Like-
lasted like 9 months or
Like,
something.
no,
Yeah,
Chris Judd, like she don't remember him.
yeah.
What about Mark Anthony? I think the kid's
Oh,
dad.
Oh, the kid's dad.
Kid dad.
Yeah, I mean,
Dad.
he must have loved you.
Well, but maybe she needs to say like, the way I needed to be loved, I haven't been loved. The way I wanted to be loved,
What I will say,
I haven't been
that-
loved.
she slightly
Those are the-
expanded.
Yes.
Okay,
She
right.
slightly expanded. She said, they gave me everything they had. They gave me everything they had,
No.
but they didn't love me.
She's the common denominator.
Yeah.
She's a narcissistic
You're a problem.
bitch. And, you know, whatever they try to do, I feel like they really tried their hardest to live up to her expectations.
Yes.
But they just couldn't hit it because it might have been another problem and another thing and another thing.
Yeah.
And that's why she's been on and off, because she even had a little thing with A-Rod.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
engaged.
Yeah.
but this is the thing. She's literally gone through so many and you're telling me not one stuck. You're the problem.
Not even
here.
just stuck. You're saying here now that you've never really been loved.
Yeah.
That's a harsh.
No, it's a horrible thing to
Yeah,
say,
it's a harsh
really.
thing to
Yeah, she's chatting shit.
Yeah.
She is the problem. And
It's her.
you see, even that documentary, I think is the worst thing that she ever could have done, because we really got an insight into how delusional she is.
Yeah.
About her talent.
She truly does think that she is super talented in all of the ways. Like,
Yeah.
she truly believes she is the best singer. She is the best actress.
Dancer.
She's a brilliant dancer, an excellent producer. Like, she is... Her ego is on steroids.
Did you see
Like, her
the
ego's
other day?
insane.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you see her the other day? She was like, "Yes, I have a theatre voice. That's the
Yes.
my voice is really for theatre."
And it's like
Jenny,
Jenny.
people are not getting it. It's just that I have a theatre voice. And then she was in her house, with her brethren, her hype man, bless him, and she was like in kind of like the hallway with a mic, and she was belting out some songs, theatre songs.
Oh, yes.
As if to show, like, see, my voice is for theatre. And in the comments, people were like, Jenny, please, I beg you, stop trying to steal the point.
I didn't
Stop
watch
it.
the documentary.
Terrible.
I didn't want to have that secondhand embarrassment. I got all the feedback. I didn't know specifically that was the
It
story.
was so embarrassing.
I-
She was
I-
hounding people down to be
Yeah,
in
yeah.
her shit. It was awful.
I saw a
One-
video
Go on.
of like her, and she was walking through the Bronx, and basically she went up to this guy. I think he was on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, "I lived here," and he was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Jennifer," and he's like, "Okay."
She thinks she's Cardi B.
So funny. And he's like, "Who's Jennifer?" She's like, "Jennifer a little bit," and he's like,
Good.
"Bitch,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are." Okay.
Give me some more.
But in that same documentary, this is how inflated her ego was. In that same documentary, she was trying to get some Dancing on the Star guy to be in her film, and he was like, her PAs were saying, he can't, he's getting married. And she's like, so? But what do you mean?
What?
Why can't he do it? Because he's getting married. Yeah? What do you mean? I don't understand. She really couldn't understand.
crazy.
that
It
this
was
guy
so embarrassing.
Is that
not
crazy?
If you watch it, she's deadly serious.
Yeah.
It's not The Office. It's not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's her being deadly serious. It was so embarrassing.
Like, he could
No.
rearrange it, move it. He should do the movie. She was
Yeah.
damn near blackmailing people. It was
Yeah.
literally like, this
Yeah,
is
I
really
heard all of that.
embarrassing. And then it weren't too long after that they were getting divorced. And it's like, I'm not surprised, chick. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but
You drove him back to alcohol.
Yeah.
yeah,
she
'cause
did-
he looked harried. He looked like a
Imagine
harried man.
learning,
Wow.
that your private, most intimate things that you've kept, you wrote to her and you kept like for all these years that you've been apart, and you've presented it in this beautiful book. You've had it bound and all sorts. You presented to her in this beautiful book. Girls using it for fucking...
Yeah.
Now he sounds like a fucking sap.
I was about to say, like,
He is,
what
he is.
did
He-
you know how she
Yeah.
was, and what did you think had changed? And
I think he thought she had grown up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I think she probably did present
then
like,
That's
I'm better now. I'm okay. Yeah. And then as soon as she got that Benifer hit her again, yeah, then she was like, oh my God, it's us. We can do this. We'll be back. We're back, Mortimer.
Speaking of Delulu, take it away with the Scottish woman.
Okay, so wowzers. You must have seen this because you live on TikTok. There's a Scottish woman who was out here peddling what are they called? Living dolls?
Yeah.
Like, she had a dolly as her baby, but she also faked her whole 9 months of pregnancy with one of those cushion things. She had a baby shower, which was filmed and we could see. And as soon as I saw the video, I could see that wasn't an actual pregnant belly, but people in her life couldn't tell.
A fake baby scandal has rocked a Scots community after claims a young mum duped her friends and family into believing a doll was her newborn baby. Kira Cousins from Airdrie is accused of wearing a prosthetic bump before pretending to give birth and parading a plastic reborn dolly as a baby girl named Bonnie Lee Joyce to deceive those closest to her. The 22-year-old shared the announcement of her daughter on social media earlier this month, claiming she gave birth alone as Bonnie Lee arrived in the world on October 10th, weighing 5 pounds and 4 ounces. In the weeks leading up to the birth, Kira is shown sharing photos of baby scans and videos of her lavish gender reveal party, along with footage of the baby kicking in her tummy, as well as a series of pictures of newborn clothes and items loved ones bought for Bonnie Lee. She even posted about hospital appointments and complications with the baby, claiming antenatal tests had picked up a heart defect. But outrage unfolded when Kira was outed online as a liar, as friends told how her family and the baby's dad discovered 60-year-old Bonnie Lee was a doll when her mum found the prop in her bedroom. Screenshots of the messages reported to have been sent by Kira shortly afterwards appear to show her telling the man she claimed was Bonnie Lee's dad that their baby had died.
Even the father of the child couldn't tell this. She literally went to her workplace, took the doll to show to people, but wouldn't let them touch the doll baby, her newborn. So they couldn't even tell. And the newborn kind of moves a little bit. And she was putting pictures up online as well of this doll as a child until she was rumbled. Somebody actually figured out it was a doll. This is the wildest shit ever. Now, let's say you were duped. One of your brethren actually did do this to you. What do you say to them going forward?
Are you dumb?
And to the father who believed that he was a father, that he had fathered a child and has been duped as well. What kind of conversations do you have if you're a part of this situation?
See the father.
Yeah.
So you never wanted to hold your baby, not one time. So what were the reasons that you didn't hold your baby?
She said that the child had a heart condition.
So you can't hold your kid.
Yeah,
but
the heart went there. Literally. No, the Prosecco's getting to me.
Seriously. How do you not hold your kids?
That's what she was telling
but
people.
She can hold the baby.
Yeah.
The baby don't cry.
You know what I say?
The baby don't mess.
I'll just be like, girl, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, why didn't you tell me, girl?
There's two things. Do you want to make money? Are you trying to make Netflix money?
Yeah.
Or what's going on? I don't think I could be like, I'd be like concerned. I'd be like, Far, you pretended, what's going on?
No, but you tell the guy as well.
Well, I'd be like, because I'd have to think you're in on it.
Yeah.
I'd have to think you're in on it. I don't think I could. I said, you lot are in something. What contract have you got? Where's the cameras? What's going on? Are you trying to make money? Fine. Because other than that, then you're both crazy. And that means my people that I thought I knew are not well. And what does that say about me? That also, my brethren and her fake one. And because by now I would have felt you up. So what the hell?
I don't know how she managed to do it, but she did a whole baby shower.
She did a baby shower. She did a reveal.
One of his aunts sent £500 because she wasn't able to attend the baby shower. So she got money from folks as well. All of the congratulations, you've gone into work with a doll. How brazen is that?
I think the immediate people around her know what's going on because all the comments, and it's like, I think that's what's annoying me. It's like all the comments are Netflix needs to get onto this because now the new thing is anything that's a wild story, it becomes a Netflix documentary or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of? Sorry.
No, go.
You know that reminds me of that I was cracking up for that went viral for on TikTok. You know that Netflix called Sweet Bobby? Yeah?
Oh, not don't. That woman went through a lot.
Well, she really sat there.
No,
I believed. Yeah,
that was so cold. Though.
I said, Kira, fuck off. I said, Kira, fuck off. 10 years. Yeah, I said, fuck off, Kira. I said, fuck off.
She got sick.
She lost like work.
And it was your cousin.
Listen, he was in a coma, kidnapped by the FBI. Yeah, he was on government watch list and all of this for was the
And what was
thing?
it? Was the camera off when they were doing scenes?
Yes. No, remember he was
No, and
underneath
he's in
it, and
hospital.
sometimes his voice was.
He had operations and all that shit. Oh, my
The
God.
voice one was killing me.
You know, they're tapping on the screen.
No, I can't.
We should
No,
all laugh.
I'm not laughing at her. I'm not laughing at her.
She went
I'm not laughing at her.
She went.
That cousin is a bitch. That cousin. Oh my God.
Her job
That
and
cousin is a bitch. Everything.
That's not fun.
this is what I'm saying. You know what?
Mental health is
Cousin is
So
bitch.
maybe,
mental health.
because thinking of that, Sweet Bobby was wild. So maybe this is.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can fake a whole pregnancy to a man who believes he is going to.
Make a pregnancy.
They do say
Make a baby.
She wouldn't allow him to come into the delivery room.
Or any other appointment.
How
Yeah.
the fuck did she get her hands on the delivery room?
No, so he wasn't allowed to. So when she's like, "I've gone into labour," he wasn't allowed to be a part of
all
it.
of the but also all of the appointments. She said he's not allowed to come. in.
Yeah. So he
She
never
did
went
videos. She did videos
Of the baby.
her leaving the hospital
Yeah, with the baby.
with the baby.
In the car seat.
Yeah, all of it.
That's a
She
mental hell.
and even when the baby's sleeping, she's filmed the doll.
In all seriousness, guys, experts say such behaviour could stem. I always had my glasses. Could stem from loneliness, emotional distress, or a psychological condition called pseudopsoriasis.
She's definitely got it.
In which someone believes or pretends to be pregnant. There is no confirmed diagnosis or official reason for her behaviour, just to be clear.
But she knew she wasn't pregnant, so she didn't believe she was doing the padding, and then when she got rumbled, she texted him and was like, "Baby's died." That is so off. How do you do that?
She went to his mum's house. She went
Listen.
to his mum's house, yeah, and the mum said, "That's a doll."
And then she, Scarpa, she's on to me.
How in that minute? Then she's like, "Baby's dead."
Right?
How insane! That's how he knew. She's like, "You're insane."
At least have the good sense to actually get knocked up and then just be like, "Oh, my dates or whatever."
She's not well, and she's not well. There's no need for a Netflix story about this. There's no. Netflix, leave this one alone.
It would be entertaining though how she did it though.
Because I want to know all of the ways.
Because them dolls look real.
They
Them
do
dolls
it.
look
those dolls are
real.
scary.
But like, if you're next to one, you know it's a doll. Unless she was when she was at work, she was like,
no,
like. You know what type of shit is that?
You're gonna pass down.
Surely they would all be looking at the baby like that is wild.
You know, people walking up to the doll.
Yeah.
The baby's not responsive. Doesn't like me.
Right?
Because I know you could be like, obviously you can't touch the baby.
Yeah.
But I'm going to, when the work colleagues come, you look at the child, innit? So what was you doing? Like people, like you had a mesh over it. How did you get away with it?
Nobody ever saw the baby awake.
No, but you could even say, "Oh, you know,
everyone's in it. Everyone's in it."
No, but you know, sometimes parents are like, "Oh no, I don't want you to touch the baby."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all of those
But I'm
things.
still gonna
So you
look.
respect it, innit? You
But you
respect it.
look. Like, you're still gonna.
Well, some of them babies.
Dolls
I
are
remember
real.
When did she was
like
breastfeeding?
real baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
But they don't look real.
Was she breastfeeding?
No,
That's what I want to know.
Don't.
Can you
She
imagine?
must have been like, if
No,
the dad,
not in that
listen,
case.
if the, no, but the
No,
thing's about
he said he fed the baby.
he never.
He was in on it.
You said
He was in on
said
it.
the doll.
Okay.
The doll can take milk. The doll.
what, like the fucking back in the day when when you take the bottle up, you know?
Oh, shit, no.
And it goes like that. And the girl sucked like
Yeah,
that.
those dolls. My daughter had a doll and it would do that.
Yeah, you just go
feed
like
it
that.
and it would poo. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what he said. He said that the doll
No,
did all of the stuff. He fed it.
that's not possible.
He was
No,
like, it
but
was real.
sometimes- I know
'cause I fed
sometimes
it.
men are kept. I know sometimes men you feel removed from the maternal process,
Yeah.
and when the baby's born, don't ever.
He was in on it. If he claimed that, he was in on it.
They're looking Netflix money, and everyone around them thought they're going to get a little couple grand. Rumbled, love. It didn't work.
I don't know.
Wild.
Her cousin is out here doing videos cussing her off, just like she's always been a liar. So she's probably like a legion, like one of those pathological.
Speaking of crazy parenting, there's a black dad from Facts Only podcast who said he won't teach his children about colorism.
I'm not teaching my kids that, man. I don't want them to go into society knowing that they could be treated a certain way because they're a darker shade. I'd rather them not know, find out for themselves, and turn a blind eye to it. Because me knowing that, for example, my friend Gabriel, he says there's certain things he can't get because he's black. I don't want my kids to go into any sort of function or anywhere thinking I might get treated a certain way because I'm not a lighter shade. And like all my children, they're all different shades. So my younger children might get treated different to my older children because of their shade. I'd rather them nobody know nothing and just go into the world not knowing, and just that when it does happen or if it does happen, they're like, oh, how come I got? Oh, maybe because I'm overweight, or maybe because my shoe size is too big, not because of my skin. No, I'd rather them not know that.
So you'd only educate them if it happens and they come and they say, Dad, this experience happened, and then you be like, all right, this is why it happened.
Yeah, I'd rather that, personally. I'm more of a practical learner, if that makes sense.
And that applies to everything else, every other possible danger or pitfall that exists out there. You want them to find out first and then come back. You want to keep them innocent, so to speak.
Yeah, man. Because I always say, like, for example, like the blue pill, red pill stuff, the Matrix. I'm so privy to all the information about gangs, and I always say it on other podcasts as well. Like, for example, a red bandana and a blue bandana. I know what that means in certain areas. The middle-aged white lady doesn't know what a red bandana means or blue bandana means. She just sees it as a bandana. She doesn't see the colour to it. Does that make sense?
Do you equip your daughter with any information about the opposite sex?
100%.
Interesting.
I take her to places high-end. I show her about high-end shoes that I buy. She's been in fast cars, nice cars. She's been in luxurious holidays. I say, don't let these things cloud your judgment of the person you want to be or be around. Because a man can have money, a man can spend money on you frivolously, mate, his meanings behind it are not nice. So I'll show her all these things now. So, like, for example,
even before she's experienced it.
Yeah, because when she goes on dates, for example, when she's older, let's say a man takes her to a high-end restaurant. A child that doesn't know enough about that might think, oh my God, he spent, let's say, £100 on me. That means he must really like me. Whereas I'm like, listen, Shy, these things are normal. Don't let this cloud your judgment on the person you want to be later down because they spent money on you.
I like that approach, but it says that you're selective with what it is that you look to educate them on before they've experienced it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I am definitely.
So he basically was saying, that he's not going to teach his kids about colorism, and he's not going to teach his kids about
racism.
Yeah. But he will teach his daughter who to look out for when it comes to men and dating, not to be taken in by material things.
He said,
what's his ethnicity?
He's black.
Oh,
he
come
said,
off
get
it.
my daughter that college plans so she don't need no man.
That part.
Oh,
basically,
come
he was
off
like,
it.
I'm going to show my kid, my daughter, the finer things in life.
Yeah, so he's gonna,
so that she's not easily impressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's like, he won't teach his kids, his son or his daughter, about colorism and the ills of racism because he doesn't want them to walk around. What he wasn't articulating properly, which we all kind of understand, not to have his children walking around with the burden of being black, so that they can go into any space and be free. So people say, "You fucking black," they'll be like, "Oh,
what do you mean?
What do you mean? Who, me? Or he wants to go. Maybe if they come at them, it won't be because they're black. It's because they're maybe overweight, or because they've got big feet, or because they're not that part." And then when he went on to say about his daughter, saying like, no, but I am going to. So the person who was speaking to him said, but so you are going to tell your daughter, prepare your daughter who to look out for, but you're not going to prepare them about racism. And he goes, don't you think that's a bit like pick and choose selective? And he goes, yeah, actually.
So, yeah, you could say that.
You could say that. So in the moment, he had a coming together moment. But I just wanted to discuss, do you think that's the way to go? Not teaching black children about colorism and racism. How did you teach your children about it? Because the only thing I did understand what he was coming from, and I really hope that this is what he meant, was that yes, we didn't want his children to grow up under the label of like, I'm black, so it's going to be on top for me. I'm dark skinned, so it's going to be on top for me. Not having that burden.
He's chatting shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? There was too many comments in there why I thought this was absolutely ridiculous. That there's even black people with this mindset. Is people agreeing like, yeah. What I got from that was that you probably have quite a few colorist ideations, or you don't think that it's that important because you are a colorist.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm going to sweep it under the carpet, like how some white people will be like, we're just colorblind. So that doesn't mean anything. That literally just means that you have levels of racism within you. I was really disappointed that he would think he would be equipping his children better by not talking about racism and colorism. Like that actually they would be better off. Like, what about their self-esteem? So then they're going to internalize when fuckeries is going on, they're going to think it's me and not be able to understand the system that is at play around them, to be able to spot it and have a challenge or something to say that they're not now, his little girl ain't going to be out here thinking, oh, I'm a booters because nobody's talking to me, but she doesn't actually know the system that is at play.
Right.
To be able to remove herself from certain situations, to navigate that when somebody is ill-treating her, it's not you, it's them. It's wild.
It's wild.
I was like, this actually folly. But there was too many people that were also in there being like, yeah, no, it's true, no. That they'll have a complex if you tell them about it. Really?
To me, he sounds like an absolute uppity coconut. And I'll tell you why. Because if he's even had a fraction of experience, you want to prep your kids so much for this world that nothing should shock them. Nothing should be of a surprise, right? And if you can sit there and be like, oh, I won't teach them about racism, whatever it is, you feel like you're better than black people, certain black people. Why? Because you should be teaching your kids about racism. You should be teaching about colorism. Because if they have, I don't know whether they're light skin or whatever it is, but there's a big difference in how black children move in the world because of their colour. Yeah. Because if you're light skin, you move in the world in a certain way. Because if you're dark skin, you move in the world in a certain way. So you can't sit up there and be like, I'm not going to teach my kids that, because actually it's a detriment to who they are and how they see themselves.
How they see themselves, how they see other people, how they see society, how they recognise certain things, the things that they can call out if they see shit going down.
Exactly.
All of that
stuff.
It has a massive, massive implication. I have taught my daughter about racism and colorism from before she could even say what colours and race were.
Good.
I've always done that. And like that comes from a place of, I'm a light-skinned woman, even though I don't like to say that shit, but I am. My daughter is very pale. I don't want her to grow up thinking that she's better than anybody else. My family is on a spectrum of shades. So she's always grown up with all types of shades around her. Like, we're the minority in the family. So I want her to know that when you go out into society, if you see some bullshit, you call that shit out. Yeah? You don't sit there and accept it. You call that shit out. And that's what she knows. You have to teach them. Racism, my daughter knows all about racism, when to recognize it, microaggressions, all of these types of things. You have to call it out, because like you said, I want her to be armed enough when she goes outside into the real world and someone's chatting shit to her, she can articulate it in a way that can, make her feel safe, confident about who she is and who her people are.
Right.
To be prepared, man.
Absolutely.
You don't have to put them like, we were slaves, and we don't have to give them all of that. Just give them tools. Let's be honest with their raising. Because he said something that made me think you did that thing. He said, my older kids, I think the way he said it, I believe, please correct us if we're wrong. Your older kids are dark skinned, your newer kids, your younger kids are light skinned. Something about what he said. He's had that kind of journey. Whatever the case is, so that already just goes to show that you're in this bubble now. So I don't need to I don't know, I don't want to project, but that's kind of how he said it, made me think that was the journey. So now you're in this kind of maybe utopian bubble where these kids aren't dealing with anything. Your other kids might be dealing with stuff, but don't worry about it, don't think like that. You've got,
but it's even he did say about I have kids of different shades. And I was like, it's not you just teach the dark-skinned kids about colorism.
Also,
you have to teach the light-skinned ones. All of that. You're like, what are you talking about?
And that goes to show, as you said, that you've got that maybe warped view where maybe he himself is colorist. So you're thinking like my light skinned children, they're probably okay. They're all good, but they also will suffer colorism.
All of them.
Or they will suffer their injustices and stuff like that because people pick on them, could target them as well. Cheek everybody fed. You cannot tell black children. Unfortunately, that's what it is. You cannot leave black children to the world because they are going to face racism in any way, shape, or they are from primary school.
I think it's a form of fucking child abuse. Come for me if you want to come for me.
I agree.
But it's a form of child abuse because how can you not give your child the tools to protect themselves?
Yes.
We live in fucking England.
Right.
You're not giving them the tools to protect themselves. Like, my daughter has had racist experience, since she's been in primary school.
100%.
And she's had to say to people, she's had to explain, being black, where we're from, slavery, like fucking different shades. She's had to explain that so many times. I've had to go to her old school. I've had to go there because certain kids want to be saying certain things to my kid. And you think that I haven't... imagine if I didn't arm her with the tools to have the right response.
And that's why I've broken...
Then she's going to, like you said,
but he's saying...
internalise
He's saying the kids will navigate through it themselves.
They can't navigate.
No, it's bad parenting.
And also, it's not even just from the other kids. Teachers I've had to set straight.
Absolutely.
Teachers. Their authority figures that they spend most of their life with on those formative years. Teachers who are racist as well. I think he said he's got sons as well. You want to leave your sons without protection, preparation in the hands of racist teachers, who criminalise black boys, just see a black boy and see a 30-year-old man when they're 8 years old.
True.
Come on.
But you know why it's also abuse? Because more often than not, especially with colorism, it actually comes from your family. And it's in the home. So if you're already being like, we're not really talking about this, you're colorist. There is certain parts of you that is totally like, I'm not addressing it because it's probably come from you.
Yeah.
You're probably already doing that pitting against. Your light-skinned kids, it's not even about what comes at them. It's also what you can be doing to other people. It's how you can weaponize your privileges. You have to be teaching your kids about how racism works, how dividing actually happens, to be like, all right, so I'm going to teach her not to get finessed by guys, but I'm not going to talk about racism.
Sorry.
And that makes sense to you.
And sorry, that came from that came from the red pilly sexist perspective. Like, go make sure my daughter shade on, do you know what I mean? That whole thing of, look out for man, because man can't do this for you. And You're over, what? You didn't say...
a guy will do some shit to your daughter.
You're not saying about your son either. What are you teaching your son about how to navigate relationships, if that be the case? But it's all on the daughter because you've got to make sure your daughter's not a stripper or something like that. Or a hoe, because that will affect your manhood.
Teach your children, everything that they need to be taught to.
That's it, blanket.
Everything.
Everything.
Like, why the fuck are you not teaching? I don't understand.
I also feel like nowadays we absolutely underestimate kids and their understanding of the world. And sometimes we put that stigma on them that, they're too young to understand. No, they actually understand and they have questions, but they don't feel comfortable to ask you.
Right.
And I feel like we also need to recognize that as well, because he could be having these conversations around the blood clot dinner table. We understand.
Right.
Teaching his kids and sitting and breaking bread and whatever, and teaching them, these are the certain values that I want you to carry. This is your influence. You keep God in your life. This, that. You protect your sister. We're gonna build our young girl's self-esteem, so when she goes out and she dates, she knows what her boundaries are and what her standards are, because you've built her self-esteem from when she was 5 years old.
Teach the son that just because you're buying these girls these things,
right? Doesn't mean them. Exactly.
All of that.
Right.
You've got to teach them. Definitely.
But he's a colorist. He is.
It was very disappointing.
I don't know if he's a colorist. I don't know. I
would label him that.
I'm very disappointed that he thinks that it's not important to teach your children about colorism. I don't care what spectrum, like what shade they are. Everybody needs to know about it.
That's why, because if this was a white woman and she was talking that I'm colorblind shit, I'd be like, you're a racist.
Yeah.
Because there's no way around it. If you don't see people as whole people and you're then trying to be like, I'm colorblind because you're going up against a spectrum of whiteness, you absolutely are a racist. You can't get away from it, or you'd be able to see in this social construct, not everybody is the same.
And it's just the racism part as well. Like, you don't want them to know anything. Like, just anything.
Have it hit them.
You haven't even just said, I'm not going to teach them about colorism. You've also said, I'm not going to teach them about racism.
And
okay.
I want to understand what he thinks is going to happen and how it's going to happen. And because I don't think I can remember a time when I sat my daughter down in her early years and said, so listen, we are black. And when you go out in this world, I don't think I've had that formal necessary sit down, but it comes and the conversation has to be had in a natural, evolved way. And it depends on how your family is. Some people are like, I'm going to arm you, especially if you've got black boys, there's that. Like, do you know what? No hoodies or wear hoodies.
But it's not a day. It's not a, okay, guys.
We're going to have to talk.
Exactly.
We're going to have to raise that.
It's ongoing. It's literally, we do it, but we could be watching something.
Exactly.
We could be watching a music video. It's generally, especially around colorism, because within our world, it's very black. So, there isn't too many examples. But in a music video, you can just be like, as you guys are growing up, you're going to start to see that your friends will start imparting a hierarchy for females that are like, this is the acceptable type.
Yep.
And so we'll be watching something and it'll be like, look at all of the leading girls. Look, what's the similarities? And then we can have a discussion around it. But then also affirming when you see various different shades, that girl's beautiful. That girl's beautiful.
Exactly.
Just so that they are not skewed to a set universal beige that they are like, this is what I should be going for.
Exactly.
This will then mean that I have wealth and status and it's these small conversations, or they'll say something. They'll be like, oh, somebody called me Blick today. And it'll be like, okay, how did that make you feel? And then you find out more often than not, they're all the same flipping complexion.
Yeah.
But it's just having chats about life.
And the one calling them Blick is not getting the education at home because they're like, they got self-hate. But
sometimes in your retort, when you're cussing them, you're schooling them as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. The very beginning, I've had books around her that show her all the different tones and stuff.
Yeah.
And as again, like I said, my family, we're the spectrum, aren't we? So I've always made sure that she's very aware, and like hair types and all of these things. We've had a lot of books that have highlighted the diversity in blackness. So then when she's gone out and people have said stuff to her, she's been able to say, we don't come in all shades. I mean, we don't come in one shade. We're not a monolith. Like she's older, she uses that shit. But like when she was younger, she'd be like, we're not one shade. Like how come if you look at Asian people, you don't say to them, oh, you're not black, or you're not, you would say that they're Asian. You're not breaking it down and not to say they don't have colorism, but you know what I mean? Like no one comes to those people and say that. She gets that you're not black. That's what she gets all the time. And she has to break it down like I am black because I come in all different shades. So she's very aware of like what her privilege could be because she is lighter and she's not having any of it. So I just think you have to arm your kids very early. Like we've talked about political stuff. She understands that, why is this person being pulled over and that person's not being pulled over? We'll watch things like you said and like we'll pause it and we'll talk about it and we'll discuss it. Like this is the reason why. She's like, Mummy, I think that person's being racist. Okay, well, why do you think that person's being racist? If it happens to her in school, if it happens in life, like you just have to have the conversation. You can't put them in a bubble and think that they're not going to experience it outside.
Because what's he doing? Like just avoiding those chats.
But that's the thing, because I think I really do understand. Because I think I saw a clip on somewhere on social. I didn't really go into it, and the man was saying like, do you think we should continue to teach black children about slavery? Do you not think that's oppressive? And that conversation is not a new conversation. It happens every so often that sometimes like is knowing that we were slaves and things like that, is that a hindrance to us moving forward? Because sometimes we can stay in the victimhood. There's a conversation to be had about how we empower our children and educate them and not give them the slave mentality and victimhood, and empower them in their blackness and know this was done to us, but we survived. That's the language that you have to have, and how you have to, like what we've been through, what we can. It's always about how strong we are, how resilient we are, and how all of that stuff. I don't know. I think he avoids that conversation because he doesn't reconcile with it. He doesn't like it. Maybe even has self-hate of his blackness. Who knows? And probably even if he watches this and like, I hate myself, I don't hate myself. When people say anti-black and self-hate, it's really hard for people to unpack it. But when you sit down and have a conversation, so who do you date? What do you do? Who do you speak to? Who are your friends? How do you empower yourself? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? And when you start to peel back the layers, some of us carry anti-blackness and you don't even realise it because it's not something that you think, oh, my brothers are black, my family's black, how can I hate black people? When you start to break down the layers of what you do
or how they talk about black
and how you talk about black people, then you start, even just saying, oh, you're black, we can't work together, anti-black.
What I got from him as well, though, is that I think what he was trying to say but didn't come across very well is that I just want them to go out there and not have to do the black, strong, excellent thing.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to say. But You still have to arm them with the tools.
You know what it is? I feel like
still have to arm
it's
them.
extremely unrealistic to expect your children to move throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that they're not we are hated all over the world, right? So you really need to understand the connotations along with that as well. And then the nuances along with that. And then the histories and the layers and the traumas and all of those sorts of stuff. Because I really don't feel like he's unpacked that enough himself to actually offer an explanation as to, you know, why he's doing that. Like, I feel like maybe he's just said it because, you know, oh yeah, you know, it's like I'm for everybody and this and that, you know, all lives matter sort of thing. But it's just like it's just like you can't do that. And I feel like it's at his kid's own detriment for him to sit there and say that.
Yes,
100%.
definitely. And it probably is that, you know, it's like he has to do the work.
Yeah.
Like, that's a part of being a parent.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to school yourself to be an effective parent. And just say that. If you don't know how I effectively teach my kids about colorism and racism, say that. And then people will be able to say, this is how you approach this conversation. This is what you got to do. Read this book.
Yes.
Like, it's not they just got to deal with it themselves. And people are like, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Idiot.
That's like, I'm not going to teach my kid how to read.
Yeah. They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. It'll be good.
I definitely think that's possibly the core of it. And what people are relating, you know, and that's the thing, we do say not everyone should have a mic, but also sometimes these things get said out, then the conversation is had. Because there might be someone in the comments that's like saying that, and then someone will counter it with some education and information. That's not the way forward. We can't, unfortunately. This is the world that we live in. And also, even
he does have a mic.
Everyone should be empowered. And Elaine's teaching certain South Asians about the history.
Yeah.
Certain conversations are not had. They're erasing our books and history now as we speak. They're taking our history out. They're erasing it. They're whitewashing Black and Asian and everybody else's who's not white's history. They're erasing it. And actually white history, because they're even pretending that you lot
are the heroes in this blood clot story. You're not.
No, you're not.
You're not. You're not the heroes.
That's the part. So actually, we're all
as a good segue. Actually, how has everybody felt that Black History Month has been going for this October? Because there is lots of chat that it hasn't been too good, because there's been lots of companies that seem to have abandoned all of their hopes and dreams and plans, and what they said they were going to do for the Black community hasn't come forth this year. It's been kind of lacking.
Kind of quiet.
Some would say. I feel like it has been a little bit more quiet.
Subdued.
It has been.
There is the economy anyway, but if you say you're going to do something and you are going to empower a community, and we're given the month of October in order to do it, I think some companies should stick by that. But how has it been for you guys? How have you found it?
I mean, for me, I done a series called Beat and Teach, right? So my Beat and Teach series is about like different unsung heroes in the Black community. I educate people about them. So I recently did a Marcus Garvey one. I recently did Olive Morris. I recently did a Beat and Teach episode about the city of Benin and how that came to be. So I'm also learning whilst I'm teaching my community. I feel like as a Black people and as a community, I feel like we really do ourselves a disservice when we rely on other people to teach us about our community, and we need to get out of that mindset and actually we need to bring back Saturday schools, bring back all of those sorts of things. How do you expect the oppressor to teach you about your own history? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. So if you expect companies to come out and be like, oh, Black history and this is that, it's only to capitalize off of us and make money off of us. There's nothing else. So if they don't want to do it and whatever, cool, that's just another way that, you know, you don't make money off of us. But we can all share information. We've all got a mobile phone. We're all in touch with you know what I'm saying, TikTok, Instagram Live, all of those sorts of things. We can all teach each other. Don't rely on a particular community to do that. They're not going to, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
I literally just did exactly everything you said. I literally just did an interview with someone about that. And I said, yeah, I don't care, because I'm Black all day, every day, 365 days a year. British Blackness exists all the time. We're there to educate people about Black creatives. And that is it. Yes, I understand if you're like a lonely Black person or a few Black people in a corporation, and where they said, well, this month we don't have the resources for Black History Month. I understand that might be a disappointment. They might not have jerk chicken or jollof in the canteen this month. But what are the policies that were made? Do you have rights? That's what's more important than having activities. And that's not to if your company's doing it and you're doing it and you're able to organise and galvanise and get black businesses in. I know one of our friends has got black businesses in for the month and they're selling their wares. All of that is good. But what's more important is if you've got a black group within within a white corporation that you work in, is your black group powerful? When something happens that's a microaggression or a racism, can you go to HR and get things done? Is your group galvanizing? Do you have power? That's when it's important. I don't care. I'd rather not have watered down jollof and ketchup as jerk chicken. I'd rather not have that. But I would rather that I know that I've got power within my community. I don't care so much if the companies aren't doing it, because exactly that. Don't make money off us, because it's just a plaster over a deep wound. What I care about is Black History Month was started by black people for our one in the UK, for us to be informed about our history. And it's exactly that. We do it. That doesn't mean if the corporations aren't doing it, we don't stop. We do our own thing, because who are you trying to... Then it becomes like performative. Who do you want? Why do you want them to care? Don't care about us. Educate ourselves. We should care about ourselves. Black History Month should be for us, not for anybody else. So if Tesco's hasn't got freaking red, gold and green flags and a special offer reggae sauce.
That was offensive anyway when they would do that.
It's long.
Why is red, gold and green offensive?
No, when they would commercialise it and actually be selling things and being like, now we're going to represent you guys for this month, when we're in there all the time. Like the world food aisle, it should be bigger, because loads of people are in there. But then when it comes to Black History Month, it's like, oh, we're going to populate it more. That actually doesn't help black businesses. You should have schemes like what they used to, where you have businesses that have incentives and you pay them faster and you are calling in black business. That makes a difference. Not 4 weeks of some type of celebration for Black history. Like, I just don't think it makes much of a difference to our purses, but it may do for the speakers. So I understand for the people who go on that circuit, this must be like a boom time for them, and it wasn't. So I get they may be feeling
that
like
part,
this is,
definitely,
slighted in some way. But overall, I don't think it is the best thing ever. I like what you're doing there. Yeah, I think that's it.
I like stuff.
I think that is really important.
It's like you said, I want to see that all the time. Like, that's why I appreciate pages like Know Your Caribbean and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you learn something every day, all day.
And Quayne Kowalski as well. What is it?
Exactly.
I always say his name wrong. Kawasaki?
Yes.
Yeah.
You learn things all day, every day. I like stuff like that. In terms of the month, I actually feel like our history should be taught. And not just to us. It's great to us, but we have these spaces, like I've just mentioned, that we can learn these things every day. But I think during the month of October, that's when certain people need to learn some real shit about the history and about what's been done to us and like how we've been held back and those things there. And it's not us that need to learn them things all the time. So I think that it's an opportunity for, let's say, like schools and things like that to really educate people about what's happened and why we are where we are.
I actually asked my boys' school. I don't think they're doing anything for Black History Month.
Yeah, I remember when I asked. I remember when I pushed my daughter's school when she was in high school, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do something different. It's not Everyday Mary Sequel and Martin Luther King."
This is what I mean. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about.
I mean, it should be expanded on.
I'd like to
but
hear
let me, because I said that I've got people. I could bring in a whole bunch.
Exactly.
I'm a businesswoman. I can bring other people in to come and. The Black Head of Year was like, oh no, can't do that.
Why?
This is what I'm trying to say. There's all these different things.
What was the excuse?
We can't. We just. There wasn't one. There wasn't nothing sufficient. And I was like, okay, cool. Do you know what?
I think schools are getting extremely ridiculous, and I'm really in, a space where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm going to send my daughter to secondary school.
Homeschool.
Yeah, I'm going to homeschool. Like primary school, yeah, fantastic. You can read and write and all of those sorts of things. But when it comes to, just in schools in general, like, it's parents' evening and whatever is coming up this term or whatever.
Yeah.
And, they must have told, I was like, how do you discipline her and sort of thing? And they were like, oh, we don't really discipline. We just let her, do what she's doing. Like, because she snatches, she's in year one, but she snatches like toys and whatever, because she's the only child. But I'm like, so how do you deal with that? Oh, we don't really tell her off. We just let her go through it and all this stuff. And I was like, no, because that's not what we do at home. So when she's at school, you make sure to give that toy back. It's important for the kids to also see that she gets told not to do those things. You understand?
Yeah.
I said, because then that breeds resentment in them because she's not getting told off and all of these sorts of things.
Yeah.
I said, that's wrong, because we tell her off and we say, no, give it back. Like, period. Even like, with sports day, you're not allowed to cheer.
God, yeah.
You're not allowed to
Yeah,
run.
like there's no winners.
Like, there's no win. I said, my
Get
child
out,
can't
man.
be in a this.
But
They
also,
can't be in a
there's
this.
no
when
way.
they're calling the teachers by their first name.
Are you
I don't-
crazy?
That's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Schools, the teachers are called by their
Oh
first
my
name.
word, that's
Oh.
nuts. Yeah, no, they're still Mr. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, you have to, because then
Sounds
it becomes way too familiar. That's when they're badding up teachers.
Right.
When I can call you Paul,
Yeah.
like, and you're, nah, come on now. That's utterly ridiculous. That makes no sense.
Sorry.
But I hear you on that though.
Totally different. I just saw someone sent it to me. There was a Nigerian guy who was talking about auntie. We had it with Aunt Judy Love the other day when we had them on, the girls on, and he gave us rules that for Africans. I've never experienced it. That he said that he was told that Caribbeans have been suffering with us calling them auntie and uncle, and that they don't.
Oh, that video. I saw that video.
I mean, I think 'cause lots
seen
of.
it.
I think it was shared
It's
in one
true.
group where everyone else in that group is Caribbean. They were like, yeah. Yes, man. Long time I've been saying this. I can't stand. Don't call me auntie and uncle. So he was saying that. Yeah, don't call me auntie and uncle.
It's not a
And
but
he
I don't like
prefers-
the word where he's saying is suffering, because okay.
No, he just said that. Someone said that to him.
What I will say is that, and I've said this on the pod, like growing up for me, it's like Mrs. this and Mr. that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
we used to
Yeah, he
say.
said that's a
the auntie
Caribbean
and the
thing.
uncle thing is more of like, that's like my generation that have come up. We all are auntie uncle now, because I like that sign of respect, and like rather than you just calling someone by their first name or whatever it is, I like that. But definitely growing up, calling someone auntie and uncle, that was not the norm.
Yeah, 'cause I remember the first time I came up against it was a new friend that I met when I went to college, and one of her friends, and my daughter called her auntie. She goes, "Why are you calling me auntie? You're not my auntie. Just call me." Ooh, I nearly said her name. Call me by my first name. And then I was like, "We don't." It was a thing, and I was like, she goes, no. But I didn't put it as a Caribbean thing. I just thought it was a difference, because then my daughter was able to call the other friend, my friend who was Caribbean, and auntie, and there was never a thing. And it's been a thing in my Caribbean circle of friends. Auntie is fine. But you were saying absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's just a thing within the community. I think it's like more of like a sign of respect, Mr. Brown, Mrs. Brown, and all of those sorts of things. It's more like of a I wouldn't really say like it's just more of a strict respect sort of thing. If I'm calling it sounds too free. Oh, auntie or Auntie Karen or whatever it is, but that's if your mum's best friends are close. That's when you can call her auntie and whatever it is. But with your friends and whatever, it's Mrs. Brown or Mr. Williams or whatever that case may be. But I think sometimes because the Caribbean community doesn't explain that to their friend, they think their children know, but sometimes they don't, and they don't pass down that information. So because they have nothing to go off, the friends have nothing to go off. It's just like, oh, well, I'll call you whatever. But mumsy and mums and all of these sorts of things is very, because sometimes the Caribbean ladies and the thingy, they don't like to think that they're old or whatever it is. So if you call them like grandma this and whatever, they're like, you calling grandma? You know what I'm saying? And they cuss you off and all of these sorts of things.
I do feel like that's dying out now more. Though, like with, again, like I said, with our generation, like I definitely remember like my auntie, I call her by her first name. Because but then she called my grandma by her first name. So it was like a thing. Like, but as they got older, even the elders kind of like respected being called the appropriate term. But I remember, I've said this before. I remember one time I was trying it with like my grand's brethren, like her best friends, and I thought, what happened if I didn't say Mrs. Blah blah? What would happen if I just said her first name? And I remember I did that one time. The way that I did get cuss up. Okay, so that's what would happen. Okay. I get it.
We could never
Don't try that nastiness.
That makes sense though. I get that different.
Friends.
Yeah.
I think I just grew up, everyone was auntie, uncle that came through the door. And as I've got older, people's mums, of course, call mum. I've sometimes I go between auntie, like,
between auntie.
I think Caribbean friends, and I don't really differentiate like that. But if I'm being specific, I think I'll call your mum. I think I call my mum.
I call your mum auntie.
Yeah, and you call mum auntie.
Yeah.
And I think if I was to meet your mum, I'd probably say, well, no, because you're younger than me, I might be like, we might be probably the same age, so probably call her by her name.
Yeah.
But if anything like that, I might be like mum or auntie in that respect. And I just
I wouldn't. I would go instantly to, what's your mum's proper name? What's her surname? Because I generally, unless I know, I will either go to mum or I'm going to call you Mrs. or Miss. I
wouldn't go out and say anyone of age in your family and call them auntie, because I know, I think I knew instinctively
it's like a cultural difference.
I probably would go first name, last name.
Yeah,
or just avoid saying it.
But like, even like me, I have nieces and nephews, but they call me by my first name. But it's only because when they were born, I was like 13, 14. So when they're like 2 or 3, they're calling me by my...
All of my nieces, though.
Yeah,
even when I was 10, they had to call me auntie.
Yeah.
Is it?
There's one that both like 5 years apart. I am still auntie. You have to say auntie.
That's definitely a Caribbean thing.
It is, isn't it?
Because even like with what I said, I called my auntie by her first name. It's
Yeah.
only as I got older, and then everyone around us is like auntie. Like I started to say, like, even now, like my Uncle Jems, like, well, growing up, I never used to say that. It was like, call you by your first name.
Yeah.
Like, as we got older. Yeah.
See, that would even feel weird. Like, I'm literally having like, oh my God, how would that be? Yeah, because they can't do that.
Only recently I've even maybe...
No, my nieces can't call me.
No.
The only ones that can are the ones that are like in their 30s.
Yeah.
They can, the ones that are in their 30s,
still,
they can call me.
I am literally auntie now.
I think Remy has to call me auntie.
Everybody else.
Yeah, they can.
Auntie still. Rihanna called me auntie.
Everybody else has to call me auntie. My niece worked with me and she still had to call me auntie. She was like, is it okay if I call you by first name? I was like, no.
Okay.
I'm at work. I'm like, so?
No, I think that it's only recently I felt comfortable saying, I don't even think I've really, Auntie Teresa? Do I say their full name? Because now, like, saying the auntie in the first name, we never did that. But in recent times, it's been a bit more acceptable to say auntie first name.
Yeah.
But we always, it's just blanket auntie, uncle. So if auntie, everyone will turn. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. It's nearly 10. Have we done everything we need to do?
I think we have.
Did we have dilemmas?
No. We just had loads of chat. Had loads of chat. I mean, there's lots of things we could go into, but people want to go to their beds. But I want to say, Young Thug said doesn't brush his teeth more than once a week.
Yeah, disgusting.
What type of shit is that?
Yeah.
And why didn't he keep that to himself?
Oh, he was fine in prison, wasn't he?
He's a chatty patty anyway.
So disgusting.
He's a
He
chatty
said,
patty.
what are you supposed to do?
But Mariah was like, I'm not going on tour because of this dude. Like, what type?
Mariah, the scientist. Boy.
Well, dentist. So science. Dentistry is also a science.
His tongue must be harsh.
And he buns. And I swear in the clip, he's bunning as well. So on top. He must have just been safe. Don't do that. It's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
What makes? Where does he pick in the week? Like, when is he like, too bad now, and then he brushes his teeth? Like, what's the signs where you're like, okay,
joking.
gone too bad?
No, he wasn't. He was deadly.
No, he's a serious guy.
Because he was like,
do that. So you go in the
your
shower.
mouth was
every day,
musty.
You wash up.
He ain't showering every day.
Maybe just swishes water around his mouth.
Also, maybe if he's a morning bun, he wakes up, has a zoot or a cigarette, then you go and have a drink, and then you've washed away that morning mouth.
So then that means
he might feel like he's done that.
Yeah,
he's chewed his.
So when does what is the point where he's like too much now? When he brushes it, like what do you think the state is when he's like, it's time?
I don't know what
he
day.
might even have
a regulated day.
You don't know. We might not even see his real teeth.
I might have.
So he might even not even be brushing the veneers.
It's so gross. She kisses him. It's the tongue.
Are they broken up now?
It's the tongue, huh?
I think they're broken up now.
Yeah,
I think she's finally had enough.
Yeah,
I think so. I don't know. I'm going by the streets.
You would be getting BVs and all sorts because it's like he's not brushing his teeth.
Yeah. It's not cool, guys. You just got to brush your teeth. Quick thoughts on... All right, Tim Westwood, come out of Nigeria. Come out. Don't do videos. I'm so pissed I miss News and Nonsense. News and Nonsense every Sunday. I'm so pissed I miss News and Nonsense. I can go into it with you lot because...
Does he not look like a fragile old man on the decks? Like, literally, he's like... I was literally like... Everyone around him. Are you not seeing this? Is crazy.
Right. I didn't know he'd moved to Nigeria. Apparently, that's what they're saying.
He moved
to Nigeria. So when amidst the allegations, apparently he's moved.
I just knew he was on flyers like every December and stuff. People were booking him. I didn't know
he's been living and working in Nigeria and is due to appear in court next month. He's been living it and working in Nigeria.
You know he's been having his fill of black girls out.
Horrid. And all of you motherfuckers in the comments, your enemies are progress just because he put on for the culture. Fuck you.
Yeah,
black girls are not at your expense just because of the culture. Fuck you for that.
Could you do a video on him?
I did a video on Westwood, yes, and I said, like, finally, people are calling it out because people were messaging me saying he's been creepy since they were younger, and they're big. And this is the thing, and I also called out the Jamaican community, and I said, you guys, I said, if I see Westwood up in your dances, I'm classing out your blood clot. You understand? I'm ruining that. I said, I'm kicking down every light up table there is. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't do that. Young girls have been, you know what I'm saying, victimized by this man, and then you want to smile up and take picture and take his money. I said no. I said don't do that. I think they're like, yeah, okay, Elaine, we hear you.
I wish that could reach Nigeria. I wish they could kick him out of Nigeria, get him out quickly. Also on the buses, guys, wash your clothes when you get home. Don't sit in your beds. Those of you who think you can come out from outside and sit on your beds, there's a cockroach infestation that has been reported on South London bus routes.
What's the routes? I mean, I don't even go on. I'm not going on a bus in South London anyway, but
the 159 from Streatham to Oxford Circus and the 345 from Peckham to South Kensington are among the worst affected. Doesn't mean to say that they're the only ones. With cockroaches. Listen, I got the nastiness. With cockroaches found in seat and food containers. One driver told the London Bus Forum, I went to take a sip from my drink and I felt something in my mouth. I spat it out and saw it was a cockroach.
They'd have to put me on leave.
Yeah.
Another described the buses as unhygienic and degrading, urging Transport for London to suspend the vehicles and carry out deep cleans. TfL has said it was urgently investigating the specific incidents that have been raised and assured staff that welfare facilities are cleaned daily. They can't be. It added that reports of this nature are rare and promise.
And cleaning.
There's cleaning and there's cleaning.
Nice, gross.
You see the pictures and the things and
no thanks.
I've always thought it doesn't make sense to have those material seats. It's never made sense to me to do that because you don't wash it properly.
Yeah,
you get leather ones.
Have you seen that guy that goes on transport and he's got his vac space?
Yeah,
and he cleans.
Yeah, and you see the.
Have you seen it? It's so disgusting.
You know, it doesn't make sense. Like we're all sitting on it. You get up, one person's batty. You don't know what they were seeping through their trousers.
I showed you the picture of me on the train, and the guy had his feet out.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the one with the guy drugging his bum up and down the handle?
You know, I can't relate to this because the last time I went on the bus, one fare was like £1.65.
Yeah, you don't need to get money. I mean, I'm a public transport. I don't.
So I don't know how long. That's been years. That's the last time I went on the bus.
That you think it's okay to sit on beds and stuff and coming in.
Yeah, no.
Allow it.
No.
Oh, that is a cockroach though. I'd be terrified. I'm just going on my daily business on a 159.
I was ever out of bed bugs. Because cockroaches are different. Cockroaches, you know, you can see them, but bed bugs.
Bed bugs are smaller than cockroaches. And cockroaches, because I worked in a hair salon and we had the big fuck off fat ones. And I've been traumatized. I understand cockroaches and I wish I didn't. I dealt with them for the whole time I worked at that hairdressers. They were the big fat black ones. But the little ones, they're like, I think from the pictures, they're about that little big. You can easily
their
miss
eggs.
them.
So you could be sitting down and then one of their eggs is taking that home.
And that's what I'm saying. And what killed me,
I'm not surprised
was that they used to say that if you step on a roach, the egg. I would listen, I've been traumatized. I can't have roaches anywhere near me. I cannot.
You tried to say that so low key.
I'm just saying it's South London and it makes sense.
No, actually, West London.
Where?
Where I
was talking about the buses.
No, I'm talking about the buses.
I won't say that. I think buses.
No.
I would say it's just a South London.
Told you guys.
Okay, I think I've exhausted everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've exhausted.
What I will say, I'm going to do a quick recommendation, people. Go and see The Harder They Come.
Okay.
It's sold out. Go and see it's sold out.
Yes. They need to extend it.
They will.
I went to see it a couple of weeks ago and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I went with my sisters. It was brilliant, even though it was in East London, but it was brilliant.
What's wrong with East London?
No,
it's true. Let's not go there.
Yeah, do you hear me? I said, you lot are lovely. Anyway, that's what I was saying. Go and see The Harder They Come if they can. Please extend it. It's a really, really great what's the word I'm looking for? It's a really great show. Thanks, Nana. And I had the most wonderful time. The singing was amazing. The acting was amazing. The set, you know me, I was so like in awe of the sets and just the way that they were switching it and how you was, you know, you felt the crowd felt like we were there with them. It was brilliant.
I hope they extend it.
They probably will bring it back.
Please, and keep it in Stratford so that I can just walk there. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you at all.
Guys, Elaine.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Anything you want to promote?
Promote.
Actually, I have a podcast called Elaine the Pain Podcast.
Yeah.
You know, slowly but surely, you know, I want to get to you guys' level. Right? Because I see you doing world tours, okay? Going here, going there. I said, okay. I want to be like the aunties. So, no, but yeah, like basically my podcast is like real conversations about the Black community, about, you know, the financial aspect, about you know, the different dynamics between Black men and women, and you know, just general conversations with like TikTokers and stuff like that. So if you want to find out more,
where is it on YouTube?
YouTube, yeah, Elaine the Pain 880 YouTube.
And what's just been the best part of this journey as your rise as Miss Elaine the Pain?
I feel like the love that comes from my community, and I try to interact with them as much as I can, and I try to thank them as much as I can as well, because honestly, if I didn't have you guys in my corner, there would not be no Elaine the Pain, do you know what I mean? And you guys fuel me to keep going, so yeah, that's
well done.
Yeah.
Well done, man. Seriously,
Thank you.
I think
well done.
What's been great for me watching your stretch is that you haven't changed and you are authentically you, and you know it could be one person watching, it could be millions of people watching. You are always real to yourself and to the community, and I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Also, just one other thing. If you see me, come and say hi, because I see people, they stare, but they don't say hi. I'm like, come and say hi. I will hug you. I will love you up. Just come and say hi.
They will. They've got to navigate it. They'll get it. Because also, you're cussing a lot of people. They'll be like, right.
Like, he came up to me. I was on the road to Blood Clot. When on the road, don't come up to me.
So they take time, but they will. We get.
Okay.
We get.
Even
you do get it. Okay.
I was walking from the bus stop. I took my daughter to the bus stop in the morning. There was one woman, and I could see her watching me.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Hey, are you an auntie?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Even when I went to see Harder They Come, the girl serving me, she was like, "I was listening to News and Nonsense."
Oh,
I
love that.
They will.
They will come once they get comfortable and understand.
And now you said that as well. They're definitely going to come.
Now they're going to fuck up all back.
Allow them. Smile at them.
Like, fuck off.
You caught me in a bad time, okay? I was in a bad mood.
You know what they probably say to you? Actually, can you cuss me?
Yeah. I mean, make your money.
To be fair though, you could absolutely be on Cameo and cuss people for their birthday.
Yeah, for their birthday. Absolutely could.
That's the thing. Hire me.
Your mate Greg didn't get guys. Don't do it.
Is it your fucking birthday?
Yes, up to Blood Clot.
Love
I know. I said Blood Clot. Oh my god.
Naughty.
All right, guys. Thank you. Keep safe and enemy free. Lots of big love and hugs from your favourite aunties and. Elaine.